Like, I'm not going to fucking... You know what I mean? They change it. It's gone. They don't say why. It's bollocks, man. It infuriates me. It's full of fucking shit all the time.
Don't even get me started, man. The duster, the one thing left on my fucking catalogue of why I want to play BFA, Culturan Heritage Armour.
Bollocks, man. Absolute bollocks. And then you've got a fucking GM showing up as a Vulpera. Like it's a fucking joke.
Like it's a joke.
Like it's a fucking
I'm going to flat
joke.
out lie to you, but I'm going to play that character. He. Well funny!
Fucking arseholes, man. Every single time. And I'm glad it's the web show so we can fucking bring it to
Fuck
life.
'em.
God damn it. Hola, ballers and a brofist to you all! Welcome to your wonderful Saturday bi-monthly show featuring two angry YouTubers. What up, player?
What up, son?
And feeling good? Feeling fresh? Feeling funky? Overwatch, you see? Right there.
I don't fly the past 4 web shows.
Well,
Nice to see you take note, mate.
it's not like I'm going to
try.
Move over with me. Let's get a shimmy in. How are you wonderful people doing this fine Saturday? I hope you're all feeling tremendous.
I like the light. It makes me look majestic. Look.
We've got a lovely orange glow showing off the once again shiny head. Yes, everybody take it in, drink it in, make your jokes, lol, 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 lol. You know what, they scammed me during drama. As soon as it started, everyone was like, lol, lol, look at Mike's head. Hundreds upon hundreds of comments. Hundreds upon hundreds of comments from every single last one of you wonderful people.
I was one of those comments.
Thanks, appreciate it. Feeling good, man, feeling good. I hope you're all feeling good because we've had an awesome last couple of weeks. You found a new game that you fell in love with. Toot sweet. We went through and had fun with the Silent Hill franchise. And not only that, we were raid testing last night, sir. New boss. Look at this. It's Bug Guy. I'm sure he's got a name, but he's Bug Guy. We're back in Uldir. No, wait, Uldir. No, different name.
Uldir.
Uldir. We've been doing it with that, which has been awesome fun. Bad quality sound? Shouldn't be. We should be all good. Maybe it's a bit far away. Let me move it a bit closer. Is that a bit better? Hey?
It's on the mouse, man. Mate.
Yeah, I know.
Remember that?
I do. You're a fucking bastard. Yeah, it should be fine. Hopefully, let us know. Frost Mage, yeah, I was, sorry, the mic was a bit far away. I planned to play like 3 different classes for our raid test, my friend, and had to, unfortunately, play Mage. You know why?
Why is that?
Arcane Intellect buff.
Oh, Bubba, no.
The Arcane Intellect buff, boys. I had to be Mr. Arcane Intellect. Mr. Arcane Intellect, indeed. I had to be Mr. Arcane Intellect. And so I had to get brought in to my mage. I wanted to play Demon Hunter. I was going to check out Frost DK. I was going to try everything. But we had to get the Arcane Intellect buff. And I guarantee you, as anybody who's watched me stream BFA will know, I forgot pretty much every time.
Good.
And had to be reminded to like, can you buff us, Mike? I'm like, fuck's sake. This is already annoying me.
Why did you have to play Mage?
For Arcane Intellect.
Why don't you say no, someone else do it?
I'm the only mage there, as you can see. I was the only mage.
But there would be no mage if you went there, so someone else could have done it as well, mate. You, a 2 cook.
I did point out at the last minute that we had no warlock, so you'll see an extra warlock. Somebody had to switch over to a warlock so we could get it in. But it was very cool. Uldir is looking nice. They only gave us a very, very tiny glimpse of Uldir. We got to go into the entrance room, and then it was immediately ported to the boss.
Right.
So we only got to see the boss. As you can see, very graphically beautiful.
Ulduar.
It's very Ulduar, which I don't think there's anybody who actually dislikes Ulduar.
Liars dislike Ulduar.
Yeah, it's Ulduar. I don't think we can complain at Ulduar whatsoever. I don't think we have a problem. It was nice to have my pet back, actually. I quite enjoyed having my Frost pet back. It was pretty good. So what the rest of it looks like, is there something cool like the train in there? Is there something like that? No, I don't know. I have no idea. I only got to see 2 rooms, one the boss room and one was the very, very tiny entranceway, which I think pops up in a second.
So they only gave you one boss?
they gave us one boss, and it wasn't really a raid test as such. I mean, it is a raid test, kind of, but it was a stability sort of stress test. They sent out, this was what was so fucked up about this testing, right? This is what actually happened. For those of us who were there, you'll know this is how this went down. Is the sound still weird? It shouldn't be. Everything looks fine for me.
How many people have said it?
A few people. Everything should be fine. I'll check in a second if there is an issue with it. But essentially what happened is they took the servers offline until an hour before raid testing sound started. An hour. So we were all sat there because I had to make... we had a rule in the guild. Sounds good. Echoes? It shouldn't echo by any means. Let's get a little bit closer.
But then she started talking about pressing charges.
I can't believe it was such a rookie error as well. I can't believe it was such a rookie error. But there you go. Hopefully that'll sound better. It was a really stupid error. The microphone was actually turned around. We were talking into the back of the microphone. Much better. There you go. Yeah, high quality professional stream, boys. I'm sorry, we set this up, a little bit earlier. A lot better. Okay, that's fine. So they took the servers offline. I had it turned out our guild was on Anduin. Now, I'm not going to shout at the guy who made the guild on Anduin, but as a Horde guild, when I see two servers, one called Anduin and one called Sylvanas, to me...
Sylvanas.
One's Horde and one's Alliance, right? To help people find groups and whatnot. That's what it means to me. Now, it is cross-realm. It is cross-realm, so it's not that bad. But obviously, I want to be a part of the guild, man. I want to be invited. I want to be a friend of everybody.
Just on that, this motherfucker looks like he lasts forever.
Okay, yeah, so I need to be clear on what you're actually watching here. This was a stress test. It wasn't really a raid test. This boss had a lot of health. And also wasn't working correctly. Like, this phase you're seeing... Oh, not this one, actually. This is phase 2. This was supposed to start at 70% and actually started at, 50%.
Yeah.
As you can see there. So, yeah, it wasn't working correctly. It's also not... It's also 100% not scaled properly. Which meant the ads that keep appearing there...
A lot of health.
A lot of health is an understatement, considering those things murdered you horribly should they have gotten out of hand. But I've got to say, first of all, this was really fun for me. Now, raid testing is a bit of a weird one. I've tried to get away from raid testing for the last few years. But last time I raid tested was Mists of Pandaria, because I don't like particularly doing all the bosses before we even do them on live, because it makes the content on live last way less interesting time, right? The guild requires it. That's fine. Obviously, I'm raiding with the Fat Boss guys here, so you'll be seeing a Fat Boss video soon about this boss, so you can get a better understanding of what's going on. But at the same time, it's really, really so stupidly fun to go into a room with a raid boss, not know what's about to happen, not know how you're supposed to deal with it, no boss mods, no add-ons, or anything like that. You go in and the level of communication in this kind of raid is astronomical. It's really such a crazy amount of communication from everybody. We were playing with some very, very top tier players. As you can see, there was only 16 of us on this pull. Those ads had so much HP. They were absolutely insane to work out. But we found out you could stack everything and mass grip them to one place and just go nuts. And obviously with that's why I was playing Frost. I did try Fire for a couple of pulls, but Frost with the 65% slow, because these things were real nasty. What was even better actually was the eye. So just to explain to you what this boss did, that pool, you see the big pool?
Yeah, this one there.
Yeah, this big pool. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to fill the room, because it's a bit like Ragnaros Heroic. For anybody who did Ragnaros Heroic, there are 3 different versions of it from where it spawns. We're all walking here to die. But there's 3 versions of it. There's like a hole in the middle, then there's an AoE in the middle, then a gap, then a ring. So you're supposed to be in the middle of it. And then there's one way you're supposed to run away. I think it's supposed... There's the entrance room we got to see, by the way. And that's it. You just got teleported straight to the room where you got to see. But you could just run away from it and ignore the whole thing, which is what we decided to do. Because I don't think you're supposed to do that.
Yeah.
I think it is supposed to fill the room, but it doesn't. It just lands on wherever the tank is, and it'll stay there. It'll just emanate from there and do its thing. Therefore, we just dropped it off in the corner, you'll see the tanks pull it off to a corner, drop the thing there, and run the hell away. And then we just ignored it completely because it was also invisible. You'll see on a couple of clips here, if you stand in that golden doorway where the boss is, it's like the two golden floor things meet. If you stand there, it becomes completely invisible. So you didn't know you were in it. Yeah, it's alpha. It's alpha or beta or whatever you want to call it. So it's got a load of glitches. Like I say, it wasn't particularly a raid test. This is supposed to be heroic difficulty. I've got some thoughts on that as well. So you can see the tanks here pulled it off to the side because it's when it reaches full energy. This is a great thing as well because you had to watch the energy bars. It wasn't a boss mod saying it's about to happen. Then he drops the Surging Darkness, and then you'll see they just run the hell away because it's all going to happen. See how big it is? See it disappeared? It disappeared if you were in that doorway and you couldn't see it. And then they just see it's gone again. It's actually right next to me, but you can't see it at all. It's just gone. And then we just you can see it just fading in and out. And then we pulled them over there. Now, then these ad spawns, which are just like, these were a nightmare. The first couple of pulls of these ads were instant wipes because they just had... Watch how hard everybody goes in AoE here. So we had Boomkins, Frosty K's, 2 Elemental Shamans, 2 Hunters, and Barrage is apparently way broken, who were just zerging these. Absolutely zerging them. And they had millions of health. And the average DPS is about 6k, 6 to 7k on the alpha right now. Yeah, you're doing about 7k DPS. They have millions of HP. It really took some coordination to get that done effectively. You can see tar traps, slows. I was using pet freeze, everything to try and lock these things down. Now, it was supposed to transfer at 70%, but it didn't, which we found out, which meant we had to do a hell of a lot more ad waves than you were supposed to do in this fight. A hell of a lot more, which was a big struggle. But again, really fun because it was so... It was difficult. It was pretty difficult, like, to coordinate everything that was going on. There's also the Eye of Cthulhu. I think it's called the Eye of Cthulhu. The Eye Beam. Project of Cthulhu. So Cthulhu's actually in the background. You can kind of see it. See this eye? That I had on me then? And I had to blink away. If you're stood within a few yards of anybody, it instantly kills everybody. It's the same eye beam that original Cthulhu did, that chain lightnings to everybody, which was... And you only get, as you saw then, you get a couple of seconds to react, which is why we're all spread out, so hopefully it won't hit anybody else. But it was a lot of fun. It was a hell of a lot of fun to raid in this way again. I'd forgot how fun it can be to just be like, I don't know what we're supposed to do. So we tried loads of different strategies trying to get the ads to... But we actually made them at one point, which is a really good suggestion, is we tanked the boss in the middle of the room. The ads always spawn at the end, and we bunched the whole raid in a tiny corner and made the ads walk against the wall. So they all came around in a little train.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, because they fixate people. So if you don't get the group to align properly,
you're not going to get away.
They just walk everywhere, and you've got no chance in killing them at all. You've got absolutely no chance of doing them, which was very cool. But this was easily the hardest part of the fight. You can see the ads here coming, so you can see everybody kind of gathers in the middle to try and get them, and then we had a mass grip to try and sort them out. But if one of them got out of there, it was a fucking nightmare. It was really bad because they stacked a bleed on you like a motherfucker, and they were just going to town on you. As far as I know, we actually did better than most people globally. I believe, as far as I know, only one guild managed to get to phase 3. Nearly every other guild only barely got into phase 2. We got into phase 2 pretty regularly, and we're dealing with phase 2 in a decent way. You see I'm running right out the edge here because of the I-beam. It was like not worth it. If you ran next to somebody with I-beam, you were kind of fucked completely. So there was no way it was worth doing that. So we were just like, stay the hell away. But Uldir looks fantastic. Now I will say, God, Frostmage felt bad. Oh, damn.
Really?
Yeah. One we're missing Ebon Ball. It is back as a talent, but I couldn't take it. So it's one of those now. Something that was part of your base toolkit is now a choice. And that choice doesn't work in some scenarios. You just can't pick it up. Not only that, for those of you who play a Frost Mage, you'll be used to in Legion is if you cast Frozen Orb, your Blizzard is instant cast. That's now a talent. It also shares the talent role with Splitting Ice.
Which you're going to take on
You can't do it.
Really?
On this one, no. It's you can't do it.
Oh, you need Blizzard because
I needed Blizzard because of all the ads. The slow effect was just like... Too important. I had aggro. I was doing ridiculous damage, by the way. I was missing lots of like optimization for DPS here, as you can clearly see, but Frostmage was popping off on the boss. It was doing loads. I will say for some Frostmages who are worried about the RNG, the new talent, I forget the name of it, but it's a renamed one on live, was actually fine. Like procs were very consistent, as you can see. I had no issue with procs maintaining it. It made the spec feel decent. the global cooldown change is obviously still in effect and a real pain in the ass, especially when it came to Bloodlust. Because you had to stop, and then you had to Bloodlust, and then you had to kind of start doing DPS. And it's regardless of whatever Blizzard says, it feels fucking awful. It feels really bad. And there's no way of getting away from it. And this was phase 2 with these ads. So then you stopped getting the small ads, and you had to deal with these big boys who you had to constantly chain interrupt. If they got cast off, people were dead, essentially. So you had to constantly chain interrupt them, keep them locked down. And at the same time, you can see people are dropping purple pools. You had to go and drop them off to the sides, because if you walk in them, it spawns like a faceless one. And it has very little health, but if you kill it, like raid-wide blows you up.
Oh, shit, okay.
Like raid-wide blow you up.
Kind of like the Yogg ads at the start of the fight.
Yes, exactly like that.
Yeah.
Exactly like Yogg-Saron. Exactly like Yogg-Saron. And then there's a phase 3, which we didn't get to, unfortunately. We do know a couple of guilds got to phase 3. Maybe even some of the bigger guilds managed to kill this with a full 30-man setup. Because, like I say, we're actually dealing with a much more difficult fight than it should be because no scaling. So we're essentially doing the ads probably at as if there was a 30-man raid.
Yeah.
That's how much health these ads had. They should not... We know that a lot of groups who are pugs, who had... who just filled their raid with anybody, they had no real issue killing the ads as far as we know. Like, but we really fucking struggled with them. We like, everybody go pure AoE. We had I think someone was playing Fury Warriors like, I'm logging my Ellie Shaman. Fuck this shit, because if they got out of hand, we were in a nightmare scenario. But what a cool boss to start off with.
Good.
Love the environment though. I'm hoping they have really they've got a lot to live up to if they're trying to replicate Uldir.
That's the risk with it, is because it's Uldir globally, even if you don't like it, it's held as one of the best raids in terms of boss mechanics and aesthetics, and it's beautiful. So if you're going to make something look like Uldir, it's a big leap of faith to try and not so much recreate it, but base it on and still succeed.
Yes.
Because you've set yourself a high bar.
Our BFA test is not your standard pugs though. Yeah, you see the faceless one then appear.
That model's really good.
I've done a lot of groups in BFA recently. I've been doing a lot more BFA stuff. I can tell you it's as bad as it is on live. Sometimes you get a good group, sometimes you get a bad group. There's no skill element in determining who has beta or alpha access. There is definitely a priority given to people who had Titan Slayer, who had killed Mythic Argus. They generally, when the raid testing starts, if you have... whatever the achievement is, the Titan Slayer achievement, if you've killed Mythic Argus, generally you're going to get a beta or alpha invite.
Dan in my guild, whose mum raids better than he does, he actually sent a drama time in which we read. Another meme came of it the other week when his mum got alpha and he didn't.
There's also the randomness. There is also the random element. But there are a lot of people, as you can see, we would have had the people to fill this, but plenty of people in our guild, who are all Titan Slayers, do not have alpha access. So we had some friends join and things like that. So if any of the viewers who are Titan Slayers, if you are on alpha and your guild's not testing and you see me around, hit me up if it's raid testing. Maybe I can get you in, maybe not. It depends. But sure, we're looking. I think on the next round, because Blizzard, as I said, the setup was so weird, Andy, is they kept the servers offline. And then just before raid testing started, they sent out an enormous wave of alpha invites. Like, just before raid testing started. So we were all in Discord, and people were like, I just got alpha, and raid testing starts in 15 minutes. So we were like, copy your local WoW over. And this is a pro tip for anybody who gets in a similar scenario. If you're going to do beta testing or alpha testing, something like that, copy your local WoW before you download it. Because then it will just add the latest expansion.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because if you don't, otherwise you're still re-downloading the entirety of World of Warcraft on top of getting the brand new stuff. Right? So just locally copy WoW to the folder and then start the download, and you'll only download the BFA stuff. So yeah, it's a nice thing. Yeah, some people are on friends and family lists. Some people are on there's all different kinds of people who play in the alpha. There's no doubt about it. It's not really a skill-based thing. There are definitely the raid guilds, the high raid guilds. Obviously for raid testing, I know some people probably find that really irritating that the Titan Slayers generally get beta and alpha access.
Makes sense.
They want them to test the raids. They need to know how classes are doing. Does anybody hear anything about which class? Now we have logs. Which is interesting. We have logs because we can log the fights. This is just ripping out from the local notepad. So we were able to generate logs of these kills. Does anybody know which classes are currently really looking broken? because I do. Because there's absolutely no class balancing done yet. It's nothing. What I'm not doing is telling you right now that this class is going to be overpowered on launch. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that right now, some classes are clearly way crazy. Demonology is definitely one of them. As I said, I think our average, and this is with a lot of AoE, our DPS was around 7k-ish, something like that. I'm pretty sure I've seen a log of a demo lock doing 15k DPS or something like that. And filling the entire room with demons. Like, filling the room with demons. Yeah, demo is balanced. Demo is looking particularly crazy. Barrage, I haven't seen it. I need to play my Hunter and see what Barrage is doing. But what I think is important from this is we were scaled to what gear we should be in by the time you are raiding Heroic Uldir. Did it feel better than what we've been dealing with recently? Because there's a big difference between having a level 112 or whatever character in leveling gear and wearing sort of what scaled to what you should be in a raid. A little bit, not a lot. Not a lot. There's still a huge amount of gameplay issues, and as you've probably seen, they have just added more spells to the global cooldown. They are doubling down on it. I believe our boy Jax has some logs for us to check here. So we could take a... Am I allowed to show these on stream, Jax? You've just linked them to the stream, so I'm going to say yeah. I mean, you just put them in there.
Demo crushing puss.
That's not the one I wanted.
Ooh. It's only a 95 percentile, though.
Destruction. Yeah, apparently Destruction's doing really crazily well if you crit. You can see Frost was doing tremendously well. That's some nice AoE that my boy got there. Affliction, though. No Affliction. I assume, yeah, people... I would be curious to ask. I don't want to show our logs. Sorry. I don't want to show our logs. But did anybody play Affliction in your raids and then instantly just swap? Because Affliction's doing no damage. Feels Affliction, man. It feels Affliction as all the Affilocks were like, no, I'm not playing this shit. I'm not playing this shit whatsoever. I'm absolutely not playing this shit. But wasn't that Lock Affliction? I don't think so, was he?
No, the one at the top was Demo.
No, the one at the top was Destruction, actually. Yeah, it was a Destro Lock, yeah. Affliction seems to be struggling right now. But again, it's not class balanced, right?
No balance.
There's no balance. I mean, you got to remember, Loz was telling me, actually, in Legion, that Affliction Warlocks were so broken they were doing trillions of DPS and they four-manned Croesus. The lower one was Affliction. But yeah, it was fun. It was so fun.
Good.
So fun. But I know it's going to spoil it on live because I knew that. I tested Kata, Mop, Wrath raid testing. And that's when I decided I didn't want to do it anymore because I know when it comes to live I'm going to be like, I've done this boss like so many times already, and now we've got to farm the shit out of it for potentially the next 4 months or something like that. So I know I'm going to come down off this little high, but being in there and being like, what should we do? Here's the problem. What should we do about it? Can we move the boss over here? Should we do this? Should we do that? Should we try that? And then things start working.
Synergizing,
things start clicking. It's fucking cool, man. It was a very cool experience. It was really, really nice. So I think it was pretty good. But yeah, Frost feels okay. I really hate what they did with the talent choices. Similar with Fire. Yeah, Fire feels a little wonky. Like without Phoenix Flames, because that's a talent now, and you got to choose it. And it's like,
mate, every class that's getting something back is suffering because of it. Dispatch for assassination.
Yeah, it feels grim. There's no getting... There was a lot of... I'm pretty sure there was... Not a lot. I don't want to say a lot. I think that's unfair. But there was plenty of people who were like, I'm not playing this class. Unless they change this, I'm not playing this in BFA. Like, what was their main in Legion? They're like, I'm not playing this. I know Resto Shaman in particular was like, I'm not playing Resto Shaman next expansion. Fuck this. This is awful. I'm not doing it. A lot of big love for the Holy Priest, though. That new spell cooldown? Dude. It's a 12-minute cooldown. Right. Can you guys remember the name of it? The new 12-minute Holy Priest cooldown that puts Renew and everything, does a massive AoE heal, and puts Prayer of Mending on everybody. It's insane. It's insanely good. I think it might get nerfed or removed. It's potentially going to go.
If it does all three of those, then yeah.
Well, it's also reduced by using your holy words, Is it salvation? Holy word salvation. It's about. I think one of our holy priests was saying it's coming out at about 3.5 minute cooldown. If you're playing, relatively well, and just watching it go out, because I watched his point of view when he cast it, I was like, dude, that's fucking nuts. And then they were popping like Divine Hymn, and it was doing nothing, absolutely nothing. No love for the ferals. Well, the problem we had last night is we definitely had some players who wanted to play certain specs, but
you needed the synergy.
Well, because of the ads, if they fixated a melee and you got 2 stacks of the bleed or something like that, you were dead. Done. So we had like a Fury Warrior who was just running alongside doing Piercing Howl, but then we had Traps and Blizzard, so it was like, that's not really helping that much. So that's why I think he switched over to Elemental, because it was like, why would we do, what's the point? So that was the way that went down. That was very cool. But what a fun experience. Ignore Pain is gone. As I showed on the TDP, Ignore Pain is gone, friends. It's gone away. What's going to replace it?
Nothing.
Oh, it will, because all the tanks have 2. All the tanks have 2 things. But
there's no.
What are they going to do?
There's no flavour for classes anymore.
The homogenization.
Well, here's the thing: classes currently have flavour. But now it's like it's been left out in the sun, and they're all sort of like coming towards a centre where they're all the fucking same. Well, it's sad. I don't like it. I hate it.
I'd love to get the thoughts on the chat while we're here. What do we think about the tank homogenization? So let me put some context to it before everyone just jumps in. Just jumps in. The essential idea that Blizzard's trying to do is to stop one tank or 1 or 2 tanks just becoming incredibly powerful compared to the other tanks, which is a big deal for people who only play one tank, right? You're a tank for your guild, you like a druid, and then suddenly whatever comes across, your druid is shit in comparison to a monk or a blood DK or whatever. So what they're going to do, or what they're doing, is saying, right, what we're going to do is change the mitigation tools of all the tanks. We're going to get rid of any way really of effectively managing any spell damage. We want spell damage to be scary for tanks. And if we take away your ability to mitigate it actively, so empower wards, things like that, we'll get rid of those. So we can, confident at Blizzard's end, we can make spell damage a certain way, because we know tanks can't do anything really about it. And then we're just going to make everything armor-based. Your active mitigation, so Demon Spikes, it's armor-based. Shield of the Righteous is armor-based. So you're just going to be buffing your armor against... So every damage mitigation really across the board for the tanks is something to do with physical damage and managing that. And then on top of that, we're going to give them something extra. Now, at the moment, the only thing they've been able to find for the second tier thing is self-healing. Paladins get the hand, right? The self-heal that they get. Frenzied Rejuve for the Guardians...
Is this an upgrade to that existing talent, or is it you unlock it for your class?
Well, it's the same thing they've got now. It's just making them all kind of the same.
Yeah, what I mean is, without the armor, do you still have the ability? It's not unlocked with the armor, is it?
Oh, no, it's just armor like your armor level on your gear.
No, like
yeah,
you
not
said,
a piece of gear.
the hand, like the hand that heals the paladin. You have that. You don't have to unlock it.
Yeah, that's
in
a
your
base ability. Yeah, these are all base abilities that they're giving. Hand now is on the global cooldown. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. They changed hand to be on the global cooldown. Putting defensives on the global cooldown, I mean... What do we even say to that, man? What do we even say to that? Jesus Christ. Don't bring the class, bring the player thing. They have scrapped that. Actively scrapped that, and I agree with that. Certainly for upper raids. They've been... I think Watcher was very genuinely said they've been hampered by having this bring the player, not the class thing for a really long time. And it doesn't work. They can't design boss fights that might have 8 druids, because that's what you pugged.
Yeah, but they had to be told that by a community, and these are the guys that make the game. How many other decisions do you think are like that?
Well, we're talking, that decision was made, when was TBC? 10 years ago? And certainly the people in charge now weren't part of that decision-making process. So it might, at the time, it might have been a noble goal. Like, let's make it so, let's...
Oh, it is. It's unquestionably
it's a noble goal, but in practice, after 10 years, it just doesn't work. No. It doesn't work. So I'm glad they actually came out and said, you can't do that.
You just really like grey all the classes, so they're all the same. This is what
this is the danger. This is the danger with the tanks. Yeah, this is this is exactly what we're talking about. The tanks are facing this right now. Is what separates each tank right now. Well, you can say like things like mobility are going to become more important. Tier
set transmogs.
Look, feel, to being able to do some hybrid stuff as your druid. Those are the things that I think Blizzard wants that. They want the thing that defines what tank you play to be the appeal of the class itself.
We all want that, but
I think so,
if it keeps going the way that it's going, then surely we're not going to get that.
Well, how does that work for DPS? That's the problem. Because you can't make everybody have a spell that hits for 1.
That's true.
A spell that hits for 5, but it's on a cooldown, and a spell that does AoE damage, right? You can't do that because then you've not got a game anymore. You're not going to game anymore. Like if I was to pick a tank right now, because that's what I was doing. I was doing the tank comparison. I was like, where do I feel the tanks are right now, gameplay-wise? And it wasn't anything to do with mitigation, really. It was just like, Warrior feels fun for me because you've got no defensive, because they just took Ignore Pain away. No notes, not saying it's temporarily gone or anything, just went away. That was it.
What, there wasn't even a patch note to say with...
You were streaming Subnautica.
Yeah.
And I thought, right, I need to start doing some mop stuff because it's coming in 4 months. I can't leave it any longer. I've left it as long as possible to start looking at the classes. I've given them as long as possible.
You said mop stuff.
To do the class stuff, like I did in mop with the tank comparison. Right. I did the tank comparison then. And I think I've been pretty fair. I've left it. We've had alpha now for a couple of months, and we've not done any class stuff. So I was like, well, I've left it long enough. The Azerite armor's here. We've got to get involved with this. So I started doing the tank comparison. I was like, I'm going to play all the tanks. So I was playing all the tanks, and then I got to the warrior. I wasn't particularly looking forward to the warrior anyway. I've not had fun with it for a long time. And I was like, what? I was pressing the button.
Yeah, okay, yeah, muscle memory.
Yeah, my muscle memory, because my warrior was all set up, and I'd tanked on it a few times. We did it on stream. And I was pressing the button, and nothing was happening, and my rage was staying completely full. I'm like, and then I looked at my bars, and I'm like, the fuck? So I'm actually opening my spell book while I'm tanking, and I'm like flicking through to see if they changed the name, and I'm going down the list of spells. I'm like, shit, because I hadn't specced around it in any way. And I actually asked on stream, I was like, did anybody see a note that Ignore Pain has gone? And it just so happened that I started playing the Prot Warrior potentially an hour after it had been removed. Something like that. It just so happened that I was like playing it as it had just disappeared. And I was like, uh-oh. What the fuck? This is really weird. This is a very strange experience to be going through with. I managed to get through the dungeons, and then I did a TDP where I respect around it using Pending Victory to kind of get around it. And it was a lot of fun because I was getting battered. Yeah. In normal mode, I was getting battered. Absolutely fucking battered to try and work around it. But yeah, it was pretty good. Let's get some feedback then. So Cassiel says, the problem with homogenization is that the final logical goal is a single tank class. So instead of aiming at making it all the same, Blizz should put more effort into making differences attractive in their own way. I don't think we're in danger of that because they still work fundamentally differently. But they have... It's the thing is, you can't... This is my problem with it. Unless you do make a single tank class, whichever's going to be the best will just be now based on the toolkit.
Here's the thing,
always going to be a best.
That's what it is. There's still going to be a best in BFA. It's just the fact that they've reduced the margin at the cost of variety.
Yeah, potentially. But yeah, very much so.
Little Coffee posted that before. Let me just make sure that it doesn't scroll off the screen. It's but as long as there is a clear initiative to bring certain tanks, Gorfiend's Grasp, Heroic Leap, Mobility, I'm kind of okay with it. As long as there is a more offensive playstyle available when you don't need to spend, say, Rage on defences. But the thing is, while things like Gorfiend's Grasp exist, there's always going to be the incentive to bring that tank for certain circumstances.
It'll never change at the Mythic level. Whichever's best is that's what's going to be. And exactly. I did point out in my guild, I think the 2 tanks in our guild... 5 different tank classes per Mythic raid, generally, including the alt raid. They play 5 different ones amongst them. Because that's the style of play they're used to. I think this is more targeted at the normal and heroic level, where maybe at the pug level. You got to remember that there's a lot of people in that world that we just dipped our toe in recently. And in there, these have this mindset. Like, I know for a fact after checking out the MDI. The MDI is going on right now with our boy Teddy.
What's MDI and who's Teddy?
The Mythic Plus Invitational, Ted Slootbag.
Oh, our Slooty.
Tweak that.
Tweak
Yeah,
that.
I sent him some kisses before.
Nice. Oh, is he doing it now?
He was doing it this morning. I believe.
Broadcasting or doing it?
Yeah, commentating.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, commentating. Like an invite, Blizz. Just think about it. The cue balls. Yeah. Just saying. That's a team.
You'd be well too smug.
I would be too smug.
If you put your heads together, I'd draw nipples on the top.
I'd pretend I've got static charge.
Just while he's commentating seriously when the camera's on, you just go...
I think I'd have fun. That's all I'm saying, Blizz. That's all I'm saying. I definitely don't have any angry thoughts about BFA.
Fuck it, I don't want to go. I do.
Anyway.
Clusterfuck.
You looked at the setups there. People actually genuinely, in the average community, think that healers are useless in Mythic Plus now. Because some groups ran no healer. At the very extreme top world level of people pushing the fastest possible time, people are basing their pug choices for M+4 on that information.
Yeah.
And it is embarrassingly stupid. Yeah. You have to go out of your way to be that stupid. Like, you have to, dispense with so much thought to reach such a conclusion. It's insane to read this stuff. Like, Blood DKs dominate the MDI right now. Because, guess what? If you haven't got a healer, consumption's miles better. And consumption's good in general, because the group can heal itself up, right? It's pretty fucking awesome. And also, they have really great tools for Mythic Plus. Right? They have Golfien's Grasp, like we talked about earlier, grips, it's great self-survivability. They're really good in that environment, especially if you take away a healer, because they're based heavily around self-healing. What a shock that such a class should be at the prominent tanking range, right? Yeah. Does that mean, like, if anybody watching us right now thinking, I'm not going to do a Mythic Plus with a Guardian Druid, let me know, oh no, because it's impossible. Right? It's impossible. And I'm seeing people react this way. Why would we do any Mythic Plus without a Blood DK? Are you out of your fucking mind? Are you actually out of your fucking mind? Like, oh yeah, I've got like a 975 Brewmaster, but I'm not inviting him. Do I look like a pleb? You know what I mean? What are you doing? Mythic Plus 11?
This is a parody, though. This is a parody, but this exists for not just one or two people either.
A lot of
this
people.
Is a lot of people. Like, we obviously make it parody and funny. It's like unbelievable. No, believe it. This happens.
Exactly. So the trade-off to that is this change also to really help the pug world out? Because if we make all the mitigation, but then it won't, will it? Like, common sense dictates it will not do that because those niches.
Something with that.
With what?
The light.
You're going to turn it off? No, I don't think that's going to work.
Hold on. Just shut up a minute. Not that one.
Ah, that's not worked
That's
at all.
well better.
Is it? For the Halloween strum? Oh, I don't like that now. I've lost my tan.
Hold on.
I've lost my radioactive tan.
It's a little... Pop yours on.
Fucking hell.
I win.
I don't like it.
Neil,
We looked way healthier before.
before you're king and you're god.
You know what would be nice? If we could use a real camera. We're used to the high things in life, you know? We sit on our pedestal, and then we have to sometimes look into a webcam.
Yeah.
A lot better? Oh, not into it. Don't even want to talk anymore.
You get to see how pasty we are now.
Yeah, I know. Now you can see how poorly we are. We're actually poorly. We're actually poorly. Yeah, I've got a shine now. Thanks, pal. I'm glistening.
You had a worse shine with that orange light on. Let me tell you.
You know what light that is? Because I bought them recently for us for streaming. It's Warm Glow.
A little too warm.
It's called Warm Glow.
It's called Sunbed.
It's called Warm Glow. But thankfully, we have professional studio lights. That's right. Aesthetic ruined. So, will this change the pug world? No. Is there a problem there anyway?
Is this a fix
really.
because of the pug world?
No, I don't think so. I've seen a lot of people suggesting things that they're like, can we force people to get good at WoW? No. No, you can't. You can't do that. They'll just leave. I don't think you understand. Kata Heroics were the perfect example. The heroic level went up. people just stopped doing them. And they had to nerf them. Like, it just didn't work. It doesn't work that way. I will say one thing that's interesting, is we were talking about recently, is the big problem between heroic and mythic raiding right now is hello.
It's a long
We're heroic raiders.
way away.
What? It's a long way away. I wonder if this is an intended level of difficulty for heroic. Obviously, the scaling's a bit wonky, but knowing that a lot of guilds couldn't even get to phase 2, and certainly a huge amount of groups only barely got to phase 2, I wonder if this is the new heroic difficulty. It could be something like that.
Aren't you massively unoptimized, though? Everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Fine, we're not even wearing Azurite armor.
There you go.
Yeah. We're not even wearing Azurite armor. But even still, it required some good coordination. It had some good coordination, some good works. Add-ons would definitely alter it. It's a lot to base off not a real fully raid test, right? I'm just saying, I wonder if they are going to try and make heroic more difficult in order to bridge that gap a little bit between heroic and mythic. I would like to see that. I would like to see that, because normal's there. Should heroic be puggable?
No. It is.
I don't think so.
What, you don't think heroics?
I mean, we're talking about a real pug, not like my guild that clears heroics all the time, brings a couple of dudes. But I think heroic should be. Yeah,
I don't think it should be puggable.
No, I don't think so either.
No, fuck that. As long as while LFR exists, then no, I don't think it should be, because you shouldn't have 3 puggable levels of raiding. Because if that's the case, then A, it's going to be easy. B, guilds like mine, which we only do heroic, but we spend our time doing heroic, it means that that's going to be done a lot quicker. We're going to be done a lot quicker, and then we'll have nothing to do. I just don't think it should be.
Yeah, I'm not saying 100% like the first boss is. I mean, it used to be that first bosses weren't gift bosses. That kind of changed a long time ago. First, Razorgore. I mean, we're going old school here. Razorgore was certainly not an entry-level boss for a lot of guilds. Razorgore certainly was no gift boss. When did gift bosses start? Shit. Hold on.
I know that Wrath definitely had gift bosses.
AQ was a bit of a gift boss. Scarron was a gift boss.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that is vanilla. Scarron was a gift boss.
Totally disagree. It should be puggable if you know what you're doing. Sunrock, you don't understand the concept of what we're saying, though. Is yes, it should be, and by that logic, so should Mythic. But it's not, and it won't be. That's a variable of an equation that you cannot change.
We're talking about your average pug. Your average
pug world.
Should you be regularly able to pug heroic quite easily?
That man just white knighted Blizzard.
No, I think you've got to bear in mind the skill difference between your average pug and really organized pugs. If you're part of a pug, like, remember I was saying during the Warlock thing, there was 2 different, very obvious different types of pugs. There were the pugs who knew what they were doing and had smashed it week 1 in heroic, and basically are as good as a guild, or if not better, because there were a lot of guilds who were doing heroic who didn't finish heroic till recently. And then there are really good players who just play with other people they kind of know in the pug world, right? And they get through it. Yeah? There's a massive difference. What I'm saying is should on average, let's say the average, not the extremes, because I consider that an extreme. And there's also the other extreme of people who can't do, say, Garothi heroic. Like, even with all the gear and all the stuff, they can't do Garothi heroic. And then right at the other end, there are groups being put together that can smash through heroic without a problem. Yep. Similar to what we do on stream. We put a heroic stream together, it's going to clear it probably really quickly, right? That's an extreme end. What about in the middle? This is where we're talking. Like, the average puggers. Should heroic... I would say heroic should be a guild activity. Yep. I think that's fair to say.
No, I do. Do you know why? Because it caters in brackets, and it's segregation and separation, but the fact is, that's the perfect example. Is heroic should cater for guilds.
I think so.
Whereas mythic should cater for actual raid guilds. Because there is a difference. There is a big difference. Like, take our guilds, for example. We casually play Warcraft with... I'm not going to say a high level of skill, like an above average level of skill, and we do heroic raiding, whereas you do it like it's a totally different mindset, it's a different atmosphere, and that's your purpose, that's your end game goal, and you do it. I think
the main point we're trying to say here, without going around the houses, is I think we would like to see Blizzard actively design heroic around a guild being a guild activity and not taking into account, is this puggable? Because that's what normal's for. Normal should be puggable. I'm fine with that. I think normal should be a good place to start looking for people, working things out. And then heroic should be aimed. There are always going to be outliers, left and right? But but aimed at being a guild activity. Maybe it is, and maybe heroics just got a little too easy. Maybe they do that. I don't know. I haven't had a chance to talk to a dev recently, but maybe they are doing that, and it just so happens that... Can we go back through Legion? I need to get my mind around this. I wasn't planning to talk about this, so I haven't thought about it in any way at all. What do we start with? Heroic Emerald Nightmare. Was Heroic very puggable?
Yep.
Was it? Are we sure?
Pretty much.
Not like in recent gear. Like at the time.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you can't base it on recent gear. It's got to be at the time.
Because I remember that Mythic being easy. That's a Mythic raid that I cleared.
It was, yeah. That Mythic was pretty easy. No, it wasn't. Let's get some... I mean, we have to be there. iBoss was annoying. Got it week 1, very easy. Il'gynoth was the wall. TOV was not. Odin Heroic was a bitch. As was Heroic Hellier. Heroic Guam, I think, was very doable, but Heroic Odin certainly was not.
Yeah.
Odin was tough even for people who were wearing Mythic gear. Like, Odin, you would expect a Mythic guild to walk in and smash Odin, like, straight away. That's not what happened. I remember us walking into Heroic Odin being like, what's going on? Because this guy's pretty fucking tough. Heroic Hellier was a pretty tough check as well. A pretty tough check. Nighthold. I think Nighthold is where it started to get pretty easy. Maybe they thought they did Heroic TOV too hard.
Nighthold was the first raid that I did a Pug Heroic on the stream.
I'm trying to think, was there a cock block on Heroic Nighthold? Heroic Odin was not easy. Certainly not for a Pug. Nighthold War was Botanist. Yeah, imagine.
That makes sense.
First half was pretty easy, which sounds pretty good. Nighthold was not bad. I mean, I need your guys' opinions on this. I didn't pug it. I'm not going to pretend that I did. Heroic Elisand. Yeah, fucking Elisand. Starboy. Starboy. I'm glad that most of you are now joining in with me, that all the boss names over a decade's worth of playing WoW are now all blurring into one. That bug boss that we did probably has a name. He's Bug Boy. He's Bug Guy. He's whatever. And that'll make sense to us. Spellblade. The Allurial War. Heroic Nighthold Tichondrius. So not heroic then. And then we had Tomb. Even in stream runs, if you had a large group, Avatar was a nightmare.
Yep.
Avatar was a fucking nightmare.
Oh, yes, he was.
That was my real eye-opener because I hadn't pugged Heroic all of Legion. And then my guild went in and did Heroic super quickly. Terrifyingly quickly, actually. Like, Heroic Avatar melted. Yeah, Maiden wasn't a problem for me either, but yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Maiden Heroic. I remember dreading that, actually, putting the pugs together. I was like, right, this is Heroic Maiden.
Oh, my God, don't even start. I did it. I did a fucking pug run. When was it that I did that pug run? Was it Thursday? I did a KJ's Heroic pug run, like the first and the last 3 bosses for the skins. Right. And I was doing Maiden, but I was like this. Just waiting for it to fucking happen. Didn't. Went into... I mean, obviously, we're fucking overgeared now.
Yeah. I imagine you crushed it to
Went
the floor.
into Avatar like this. We did it. Went to KJ, lost my fucking shit.
Really?
Like you wouldn't believe.
Still?
Yes. Repeatedly.
Okay, what were the problems?
Repeatedly. Underhealing on the tanks because of the Fellclaws. Yep. Fellclaws is still high damage at this fucking gear level.
I mean, that feels like a tank issue to me.
Right. But then, like, just there was little random mechanics that just weren't fucking coming together. It's like, but it happens, and then you just see the raid go, ooh. It's like, right, what was that? What was that?
Are we talking about people not standing in pools?
No, pools got soaked. A lot of people got knocked off by the purple orb.
Oh no!
A lot of people died to the turrets. Bad. And then, tell you the worst part that was like I was basically I was bubbling, and then someone fucking used a combat res on a random and didn't get the tank back up after the tank died.
Oh no!
Right, and I was typing the worst fucking hate in the world because he weren't on Discord. I got knocked off the edge by a fucking wall, by a pillar as I was typing it.
not stacking for ads. Yeah, I can't imagine. Where's my tanks at? I don't think Shade's here. Where's my tanks at? Fell Claws what was your item levels average, would you say?
Oh, the tank that did it. I don't want to say his name, Dan. But in fact, no, there was Dan. I think there was a pug tank as well, and they both died to it. Like, not just one of them, just both of them.
That's crazy. Fell Claws can't be that bad anymore. I mean, it was pretty bad at first on my Paladin, because I remember when I tanked on the Paladin, I was undergeared for KJ when we did it, and he could melee for more than my max HP, which was a bit of an issue, but I still got through it. Right? I still got through it. So maybe it comes down to maybe Heroic's not that. I don't know. I pugged it in a week, but it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to get, because we're talking about one-off bosses that suddenly just scale up. Like, the rest of it is just a cakewalk, right? It really is. And that's fine, I guess.
I'm not weighing in now.
Maybe
all I've got, and I don't want it to be, believe me, I don't relish being a prick. But, having said that, I don't like doing it, but I just can't find any light at the end of this tunnel with anything. Mechanics, visuals, aesthetics. I can't, man.
I will say, visually, I mean, this looks impressive. There's no doubt about it. It looks good. It does look nice. I mean, I don't want to go into a rant again, but the gameplay issues are still there. They're doubling down on it, which is interesting. So I did the video last week where we talked about, I don't think they particularly care about our feedback right now. I think we just had some more evidence, is that the global cooldown feedback, I'm not going to bring it up here and see where this thread is. I would love to see whether it's still going. So the biggest thread currently on the alpha feedback is the global cooldown change. And people just saying, we've tried it. We don't like it at all. And I linked it in the... Let's go to WoW US. I linked it in the video, and I was like, it feels like they don't... It feels like they don't care. It does feel that way. And I don't want to say that, because obviously I want to give feedback and maybe make the game better for everybody, you know, like a right bastard. But it does feel... Oh, there it is. There you go. Okay, so we can come to here. So this is the WoW US forums, and you can see it's the one with 469 replies. It is easily the biggest thing talked about right now. And it's just negative. It's like, we don't like it. We absolutely don't like it. And this is good feedback. Look at this. These are people who are putting in the effort to let you know what they think. Okay? It's like, can we just have... Even we're asking for small things. Like, please don't put Bloodlust on the global cooldown, because it just feels horrible for the one guy in your raid who has to press the button. Yeah. You can't not press it. And if you read through this thread, and I've read through this thread, is... this model of gameplay.
Oh, I see what you did there. You put your words on a global cooldown. Fucking genius. That's meta as a motherfucker.
The blue response, I have read it. I did point out in the video, is we know you won't like it particularly much. Please play around with it. Let us know what you think. The blue response was, we know you'll feel initially weird, but let your hands get used to it, because we know you're trained muscle memory wise to get used to it.
It's not just the hands, though.
No, it's not. I've trained my hands to deal with the global cooldown. It's still horrible. It is. It's not nice. It's not fun. It's not interesting. And none of the reasons they're giving for it really make sense. Like, it just feels like we need to go back. That's what it feels like. And as we've had, I mean, you look at that level of feedback. That's 469 responses of the people who've tried it, tested it, don't like it, and they added more to it. They doubled down on it. Like, obviously they're just going ahead with it. There's nothing going on there. Like, the feedback seemingly is utterly irrelevant. And how can you not feel that way when you see that is the most controversial change in BFA, universally negative in most regards? The only people I've seen, and I feel this is such a bastard, but the only people I've seen like it are the guys who are like, hey, it doesn't really affect me, so it's not that bad.
It doesn't really affect you, so shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. It's such a horrible, selfish attitude.
It's not though, is it? It's not though, is it? It's what? Oh, you mean them?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Fuck me. I thought you meant us then.
No.
Jesus
Fuck
Christ.
No. Fuck no. No, that's just the most narcissistic shit I could ever read. I like the Shadow Priest one, which is like, well, all our cooldowns on there. It's like, what cooldowns? And certainly the ones you add.
Bay was telling people that it's fine and to get over it.
Well, if Bay likes it, there you go. Stand with Bay. But I disagree.
Enjoy it.
I've played many classes right now, and I got a lot of shit, actually. You played it out on the Demon Hunter TDP, because I was looking for a class to play, and I was looking at the Demon Hunter because it's less affected by the global cooldown change. And that's what I'm looking for with classes in Legion. I'm looking in BFA. I'm looking for classes that are
You're playing around
less effective.
GCD.
Yes, I'm active. That is not a lie.
That's mental.
That is not a lie.
Absolutely mental. And you will not be in a small minority of people that does that either.
No, I 100% agree.
To actually put that line of words on the table is a horrible fucking concept.
Yeah, I'm actively searching
horrible.
out a class to play in BFA that is the least affected by it because it's so annoying. It's so annoying. But there you go. Yeah, we're in the point where it's going to give up if this goes through. I think a lot of people won't. They just won't like it. And I think Blizzard's rolling the dice on that. I think they're saying people will still play. They'll just get used to it. You know, they're not going to go away. Like, that's the way it's going to be. I think they're playing that game. I think they're playing the game it doesn't really matter. People are still going to buy it.
Do you know
People are still going to play it.
If they came out, right, and said, look, this is happening because, regardless if you like it or not, I'd respect them more for it, as opposed to
nice
just
if we
being,
had
look, just try it.
I know someone's going to say
Why?
that they have done that, but it's been universally proven multiple times, even by the PvPers, that is not the case. It's not the case at all. But either way, I don't want to go down a dark road today. I don't think we need to, because there have been some really good stuff.
We've been down a dark road for the last hour.
We didn't. The raid looks really good.
We could have.
This was cool.
We could have drove to Blackpool.
This was cool. I'm gonna keep...
in the time that we've ranted. I could have been under the illuminations now, shit-faced.
I don't care, man. This raid looks really good, and that's what I like. That's what I like. I'm going to keep coming back to it. And every time we go down a dark road, I'm going to cut back to this scene and say, I had really a ton of fun last night in Battle for Azeroth.
Did you have fun on your Frost Mage?
That's not fair.
Did you have fun on your Frost Mage?
No, I didn't. I was... you see, there's quite a few spells here, but actually, how many spells do I actively use? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Nah, Blackpool ain't fun. Are you fucking kidding me? It's just because you're not fun. I had the fucking best time of my life when I went to Blackpool.
Five spells, really. And then the odd utility ones. Around about 5 spells. I used Freeze, which was cool. I had to make my Freeze macro again, which was awesome. Frost Nova. Used my shield, ice block. I mean, I did use all these things. Didn't use spell steal. I used arcane intellect. I didn't use shep. Didn't sheep anything. But yeah, generally speaking, as you can see, you're using like 4 spells. But yeah,
oh yeah, don't get me wrong. Blackpool is a shithole, but it's a fun shithole.
Come back to the boomy side. And my boomy's popping, dude. I'm getting there.
Thought of a well good porno title.
My boomy is popping.
No, doesn't matter. I'm not going to repeat it.
Boomy is popping.
Boomy's popping.
I had a really fun time in Legion this week because I got to raid on 3 different characters in
Good
Mythic.
for you.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I'm getting this. I'm joining the world of having all these really ridiculously overgeared alts.
Did you get a title for doing it on Mythic?
Doing what? Argus?
Yeah.
Yeah, Titan Slayer. I would never use it ever.
I like Titan Slayer.
I like the Immortal.
I like the Immortal, but I fucked it up.
Yeah, I like my Immortal title. I'm going to keep that one. And there's also, I think this is really cool. Blizzard has made a change, which I think is worthy of discussion, because they want to encourage people to go towards the Alliance in the raid teams, because all the raid teams are Horde. Yes, as Jaxie has just pointed out, the top 100 achievement. If you are part of the first 100 guilds in the world to do a mythic end boss, you now get a special title, which I think is fucking awesome.
What's the title, though?
It is famed... I'm trying to find the thread. I didn't prepare for it. Realm First Hall of Fame. There we go. It's what's it called? It's like awards for the Hall of Fame, something. It's called like... I know, Top 100 Alliance. But this will encourage guilds to switch over to Alliance. Yeah, the famed Slayer of, like, Gahoon's the first one. So you get a title, Famed Slayer of Gahoon, because you were in the top 100 in the world to get it.
I ain't never equipping that.
It's still cool to have, though.
It's very cool to have.
Because it's not like... Because it doesn't take into account realms. We were talking about how it works exactly, which would be the... Is it a guild thing? Because obviously a Mythic guild has like 26, 27 players. What if you're not in the raid that gets it? Because your class was bad for it or something like that. Yeah, I mean, they'll come up with better titles, obviously. But I think that is a very cool thing to give out. And a really simple... How good is this? This is a really simple, inoffensive way of getting more guilds over to the Alliance side and rebalancing it.
Oh, is it 100 on the Horde, 100 on
100
the
on the
Alliance?
Horde, 100 on the Alliance.
Is that people or raids?
I think it's going to be guilds. I think your guild will get the achievement.
Guild.
Yeah, I think so. I would be bizarrely sad that they don't give it to the guild. Because obviously, yeah, exactly. What about benched guys? Because Mythic works on some people being benched. It has to be that way. It has to be the whole guild, right? There is no way. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. No. That's a good, interesting talking point.
I don't know if it's been confirmed or
It
not.
ain't going to be per guild.
It must be.
No, there's no way. Before you kill this last boss, let me join your guild. There it is.
Potentially.
However, here's the thing though. That's got more pros than the cons of not being in for the kill.
No, Loz did think
and
of
not
this.
get the title.
I think you have to... there's a lot of rules with guild stuff. Like, you have to have been in the guild for, I think it's 3 months to get certain things, right? I think you have to be in a guild for 3 months before you can get certain rewards from the guild.
Okay, in the next expansion, even though I'm probably not going to play it, I won't play it.
You're going to put an alt in our
I
guild.
want to put an alt in your guild.
It has to be guild-based because raids don't work that way. Blizzard knows that. A raid team at the Mythic level has 26 to 27 people. You can't only give it to 20 of the 27 who led to the kill. You can't do that. Because that would cause more problems than anyone else.
On a serious note, though, can we find the criteria of this?
I don't think we've got it yet.
As soon as it's out, though, right? If it's simply you need to be in that guild for 3 months, can I be in your guild on that character? I'll fuck off afterwards. I don't like any of you.
You'll have to talk to Loz. And as far as I know, you two hate each other.
Me and Loz? Are you kidding me?
Because he made that drink with Bellula.
Sugar daddies. Oh, God.
Never forget the Loz Bellula combo. I was talking to Bellula today. I've been tossing shit at everybody today. I was talking to Taliesin and giving him shit and all.
Speaking of tossing shit.
I was tossing shit at Tally
that
today.
That night after Subnautica, did you get my text message?
I got the one where you were saying you hate me because everyone was spamming the new emotes.
I just started my guild raid and I was having a right good time, but literally, no, actually, I tell a lie. That's a prefix. I started it and I thought it's Guild's Wednesday raid, which means like the people who just come back for Wednesday are there. So the second the stream went up, it was the fucking emotes.
Which emotes?
I took a picture of it.
Which emotes would those be?
Fuck off. So I took a picture of him and just sent it, just saying, I fucking hate you.
It's genius. I love these emotes. They're so good. So if you're not sure, if you weren't here or anything like that, hey, Tester. We have now dedicated a big section of the emotes to game-specific emotes. So that you guys who are sub to us get to enjoy the game more. So I made these because Andy was scared in Subnautica, so I made these for him while he was streaming Subnautica. We thankfully to Twitch, because of we're like enhanced partners, we can upload emotes without them being checked, because usually emotes take 24 hours. Now we can upload emotes within 10 minutes. So when you guys find a meme or something in a game we're playing, is like literally in a few minutes, we can have an emote up and ready to go along with that. And as we've got Yakuza 6 with karaoke and God of War next week, I think it's a really good idea to get you guys more involved in what we're doing.
Seen the fucking praise that game's got, God of War, as like one of the
I
best
saw God
games.
of War as being listed as the game of the next generation.
Yeah.
And I'm criminally sad that you're playing it. Because you I get Yakuza 6, so I'm going to be doing karaoke.
You'll be karaoke in a dive
And you're going to
bar.
play the game of the next generation.
Right.
I think we need to go back to the schedule and double check what's going on here and see if we can sort it out. But it comes out on a Friday, which is a pain in the ass. We don't have an advanced copy, but I have seen...
When does it come out on the Friday?
I'm not sure.
Oh,
You might want to mute that phone, though.
Shit. Sorry, I'm very important.
Yeah, criminally sad it's not coming to PC. As we've said it since the beginning, PS4 is well worth having.
Hey, did you know that God of War is coming out on Hitler's birthday?
I did not.
Why?
I did not.
Why?
Yes, we spoke to Sega on Friday. We spoke to Sega, and hopefully we should have an advanced copy of Yakuza 6 so we can get our time.
When they answer the phone, they go, "Hello, Sega."
I did it via Twitter, unfortunately.
That's fucking
No,
bullshit.
do you know who? Do you remember when we went to London with
don't care.
BioWare?
You've just
No,
remembered.
Bethesda. Who were we in London with? Was it Bethesda or BioWare?
Bethesda.
When we went to Bethesda in London, the girl who was in charge there,
Yeah.
she now works for Sega.
Sega.
So I just hit her up.
Can we tweet her?
I
When you
already
answer your
done.
phone for work purposes, do you go
Sega. Yeah, I feel really bad now that I forgot who made Wolfenstein and Fallout. That awesome BioWare game.
Shit, is that game still 20 knows?
What game?
You just totally reminded me. Wolfenstein 2.
I don't know.
Actually, I'm going to
I
check
already
it.
own it.
I'm going to check it in a
I
minute.
already own it. I don't want it. Dad of War emotes. That's a good one. Come up with your ideas. We'll be having fun with it. Let's take a quick break because we've got ERP coming up.
I need to drain this ball.
Yeah,
soup.
let's have a quick break and then we'll get into some ERP and a little bit more WoW talk because I haven't finished actually. I've got a list of WoW things to
Do you know
talk
that in
about.
2019, WoW was actually coming to Sega?
Back in 2 minutes. Welcome back, everybody, to a Saturday with us here. I just want to be clear, BFA was a lot of fun for me yesterday, regardless of all the shit talking that has been going on. I had a lot of fun.
Good.
And thank you, August. Not shiny enough. Need to go balder, according to Mr. August. I need to go rusty. But yeah, it's the content's good. It's the gameplay, isn't it? It's the problem.
Glad you enjoy it, mate. Good.
Yeah, for real. I enjoyed raiding. That's my problem. I really like raiding. I really enjoy it so much. I have a blast raiding. I have so much fun, and I want to see more of Uldir. Like that's what grabs me. That's the thing, isn't it? With WoW, something grabs you, and that's it. I really enjoy that.
Yeah.
Whether it's transmog, whether it's pet battling, whether it's M+, whatever it is, whatever's your thing. Death grip on a global cooldown. Indeed, Agramar should be a little less.
Should get some soul glow. Just let your soul glow.
Yeah, there's something that gets you, and that's it. You're in then. You'll put up with a lot of shit if you really enjoy that thing. You'll put up with a lot of shit if you really enjoy that thing. I think that's Blizzard knows that. The bastards for it. Anyway, before we carry on with any WoW talk, I promised this at drama time because I opened this and we had to save it for you. We had to save it for our boy Andy.
That font, though. It's not easy on the eyes.
No, it's not. I'm gonna
Thankfully.
have to do this. I'm sorry, pal, but I can't see it. I'm sorry. Right. We haven't had one for a while.
A sexy story.
We need 3 player names, Andy.
Methuselah.
We had Bex on Friday.
Oh.
Yeah, we had Bex on Friday.
Yuvum.
You guys know what you're getting into. You guys know what you're getting into with this, so don't bring it on me. Let's have Fat Kid.
I want the third one. Let's go with Bodhi.
Bodhi. And we need 2 guild names.
Do you want to pick one?
Yeah, 2 guild names, ladies and gents, for the ERP journey we're about to go on. I'll be honest with you, I haven't read this because I wanted to be as surprised as everyone else.
Nice.
Cooks are us. The snarky. Oh, yeah. Peaches and cheeseburger. Fudge packers, no. Fire shroud. Ooh.
The Poggers.
The poggers
Nice.
and the sausage house.
The sausage.
The sausage house. I like it. All right, so I don't know what's in this. I swear to you, I don't know what's in this. I thought we'll do it together and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, it won't lead us down a particularly dark road. That's all I can hope for is that we end in a lovely place. So I'm going to do that for Andy.
Thanks, mate.
That's for you, pal. Are you ready?
Hit me.
Holla, Preacher and Ghosty, and that chat of yours. I hail from the land of greasy fried chicken and basketball.
Kentucky.
Kentucky!
Kentucky.
Fried chicken and biscuits on that
Shit, boy.
Got gravy? No gravy.
Got fucking chitlets.
I want a triple fry. I never tried when we were in the US. Double dipped fried chicken.
Good.
They call it extra crispy, but
Extra crispy.
they just double fry it. I've been watching almost every video you guys put out for longer than I can remember. Drama Times have been my favourite. I thought, it's time. It's time. If I wrote every drama I've experienced in Azeroth, I might as well write my life story. So, to make it more digestible, I've only written the events that shaped me as both a person and a WoW player. These are important events. You ready? Nice. Since I live in the middle of bumblefuck nowhere, WoW and the internet have been my social lifelines. They're the only things that keep me from going insane from lack of social interaction with anyone but paranoid, argumentative family, even to this day.
A strong start.
A strong opening gambit for this story. The addiction didn't begin until early Burning Crusade, but my first exposure to WoW was during what I think was late vanilla. I was a wee lad at the time, and I noticed my dad actually playing a video game for once. This was something I remember rarely seeing him do. Every time I saw him at the computer playing a game, I would curiously approach from behind and peek over his baby Sasquatch hairy shoulder. Your dad wears a wife beater, doesn't he? That's a vested man if I've ever heard one. Because he's got this one hairy ass shoulder that he's got to peek over. I can picture your dad in underwear and a white vest with the sweat patch.
And a trucker hat.
Maybe a trucker hat, but definitely gristled.
Rednecks wear trucker hats.
Kentucky. Without a word, I would just watch for a second. One time I did this and saw he was playing a small bearded man in white and blue robes in what I would later discover to be Northshire Abbey, surrounded by many much taller men of various different shapes and size. I saw him drag his mouse and a green circle moved about the ground wherever his cursor went on the screen.
He's playing click to move.
He's playing click to move.
Warcraft.
I'm depressed. I'm so fucking depressed. When he clicked a place on the ground, his small ginger-bearded man moved to that place, whereupon he would begin casting spells. I didn't know it at the time, but he was playing with click to move. Have you ever tried it?
No.
I've never tried it. Like, how did he do that? It was at that moment he turned and I asked him what he was playing and if I could play. He said it was called WoW and no I couldn't until my reading ability improved a bit more. You can't read, son.
Boy, you fucking 27 years old.
You think KFC
Can't
is
even-
LMP?
You can't even read a goddamn menu in a McDonald's. Shit. Spell your name. Wrong.
You just called me Bo.
Yeah. He's called TJ. Spell your name, TJ. Wrong.
Okay. Simply, you've got to learn to read. That's so... Do you know what? I know I'm off track, but do you know what they exposed my son to at Holiday Club? Fucking Minecraft. And he came home and he went, Daddy, I played a game today. And I went, oh, did you? And he went, yeah. And he went, it's called Minecraft. And instantly my heart turned to ice. And I was like, motherfucker. And he was like, it's really good. I'm like, you piece of shit. I will kill you where you stand, son. Take that back. Take that back now. What mods were you using?
Was it Tech-It?
And then he was like, base. And I swear to God, I almost impaled him. Base Minecraft. Simply from the name, I was enthralled. So I tried my absolute hardest to improve my reading. It worked. So I could play this glorious new game. I did it too. I showed my dad my improved reading assignment scores from school, and it soon became my best subject. Reading's not a subject.
I mean, in America it probably is.
Reading's not a subject.
Right, look who's in the White House.
Oh my God. Nothing like waking up to know we've bombed the country.
Motherfucker can't even
What a
tie
day.
his own shoelaces.
What a day. So fucking smug about it too. My dad kept his word. Bastard. But he was like, motherfucker. Damn it, TJ. And allowed me to create a new character on Blade Fist. This would be the server where I would make my first online friend.
Hey, you can have friends online.
I don't know where this is going. How old is this kid? He didn't tell us, right? He can't read, so
This
what,
is
about
gonna
44?
this is gonna be a bad story, and you've made me
this-
feel bad because you saved it for me.
Is this a pedo story? I hope not. There I was at the character creation screen. So many possibilities to choose from. My dad helped me through the creation process the first time. At the time, my favourite colour was red, so obviously I chose Horde. My dad clicked through all the races, letting me see which one I wanted to play. When he landed on the undead, I immediately jumped and excitedly exclaimed, that one, Daddy, that one! An undead warrior was on the screen. I saw a sword and shield and thought, oh yeah, that's my jam. PGE jam.
Nice.
We went through all the customization options available. In my mentality of the uglier it is, the cooler it is. You're going to get an ugly wife doing that, dude.
He's a fucking redneck. You don't care.
You're going to end up on Reddit trashy.
I'm sure your sister will make.
You're going to end up on trashy, dude. Back it up. Back it up. Reverse the plan. Reverse the plan.
Ignore him, mate. Your sister will make a lovely bride.
That's some cold KFC right there, man. That's extra crispy. Shit. I landed on a pasty greenish, off-white skinned undead male with the spindly spiked hairstyle, black hair colour, and without a lowered jaw. Naturally, my dad suggested the name Tooth Decay.
It's good, that. It's witty. I don't think your dad came up with that. It doesn't sound like the calibre of chap to come up with a quality set of bands like that.
In his vest, though?
Better call him motherfucking Tooth DK.
I found this to be hilarious and agreed in a heartbeat. Thus began the escapades of Tooth Decay. I was pretty observant for a newbie. I saw yellow exclamation points and knew these guys were probably pretty important. After a while of questing through Tirisfal, I eventually found my way to Brill. This is where I discovered I had to pay attention to how many things I pulled aggro of. I died and died and died to them demon doggos trying to kill them for a quest that I gave up at level 12. Rest in peace, Tooth Decay. The fucking Brill, man. That's what I'm saying about heroic pugging. You never know when Brill's going to come back and bite you in the ass, right? It's tough content.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
Fucking Brill. 7 weeks I've been in Brill.
Do you know, I remember
Held
Brill.
up.
The only memory that I've got of Brill is I had an undead warlock because I was going to roll it, but then I gave up because it was undead, and undead sucks before Blood Elves were there. And I was 27 and I got attacked by a 43 warrior. Fucking feared him to no end. Fighting for 10 minutes, killed him, walked off.
Feared a warrior, how sad.
Right?
That is a bad warrior.
A long time.
That guy is still leveling in Brill to this
should
day.
kill me real quick. He's probably click moving.
There's some people when you PvP were so bad. Because I get it a lot. If someone sees me, if they're not on my team, they're like, gonna can't preach me. Woo, woo. Anyway. Part 2. Cutting edge Brill. You know why I liked Brill? Who's with me, Vanilla Boys? You could see the mounts in the stables. Even though they were so far away. But they had the stables that had the actual mount in WoW. And you guys don't realise this, but that was a really big deal. That was a really big deal. Having a mount, you could see them. It was fucking awesome. Yeah, Brill was the shit. Brill is my place, man.
That clip, by the way, Lou, is on that hard drive that we recovered, so you can check that. Then you can say fake as much as you want.
What's it like to get burned so badly that you ended up in a Silent Hill game? Frustrated with my warrior, I told Daddy I wanted to make a new character that isn't so hard to play. He pulled up the character creation screen and stepped back. The character creation screen generated a troll male hunter. Go hunter then. Your dad's bored already.
Go Cougars.
My dad suggested, and so I did. I couldn't think of a good name for it after customizing it a little bit, so before he walked away, I asked Dad, can I have another name? He suggested Dwarf Stomper. I asked why that name, and he replied with, your uncle has a dwarf named Troll Stomper. And I want to mess with him. It's a good jab.
See, your dad never came up with tooth decay. Never came up with tooth decay.
I had a bit of a laugh at that and thought, yeah, let's get our uncle.
Could be worse though. Could be bone breaker.
Could Bone Breaker X, mate. Hunter was the answer to my prayers. I levelled through Durotar with relative ease compared to Tirisfal. See, it's that Brill, man. It'll get you. Yeah? It'll get you. I was on my way to Razor Hill when I was stopped by a friendly fellow troll hunter named Yovam. He asked me if I wanted to level together and be friends. Stranger danger. Want to be my friend? Being the innocent little cinnamon bun I was at the time, I happily agreed. Cinnabon. Together, us troll bros leveled and quested together using the in-game built-in chat to speak directly to each other without typing. Wow.
The in-game built-in chat.
Have you ever tried it?
Very, very, very briefly. Very briefly. I mean, like half a Sholomance run.
Wow.
And done.
Wow. I've seen the PUBG Open Comms thing on the airplane.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
I've never tried it. We should try it on stream one day. In these voice chats, Yovam told me he was a millionaire. I'm a millionaire, you know.
Did it work?
He was a millionaire and bragged about all the things he had and the things he does with his money. He said he was around 20 years old at the time, but even back then I was suspicious because his voice in the mic sounded to be a bit younger. Around 10 maybe, which was my age. Distrust began to arise between the troll bros. I don't trust this Yovam at all. Millionaire. After a little while of listening to Yovam's bragging and boasting, he suddenly stopped logging in one day and didn't log back in till I was around level 49. To put into perspective how much time it was about a month. And he disappeared when we were around level 36. He made the excuse that he had moved in with his uncle and was trying to get the internet working. Since I had no reason to doubt Yovam, I went along with it. Immediately after making this excuse, he asked me to wait for him on that character so we could play together again. He was gone again before I could reply to this question.
No chance of that happening.
Yeah, good luck, Yovam. Let us know how that goes. He'd logged off, so I thought to myself, who knows when he'll be back, so screw it, I'll level without him. Because Wrath was about to come out and I had an intense need to play a DK, I had my dad buy a whole new copy of WoW and pay my sub fee as well as lend me one of his PCs that he had upgraded from so I could play WoW at the time. It was just before Wrath came out. However, I couldn't for the life of me quest through Desolist on my way to 55 and went to my dad out of desperation for some of that edgy Death Knight goodness. He already had a character above level 55. If I could play on his account... Oh my god, I hate kids so much. If I could just play on his account, I could play the Death Knight. I asked him if I could make a DK on his account. Because he's stuck in Desolus. He sighed. I just gave you a PC and I'm paying for an account. Sure, buddy. But you gotta level it for me. He didn't like the DKs too much. My dad was never a fan of edgy classes, and rightfully so. I'm not very into them either. What do you think of that, Andy? He made his Night Elf male DK, named it Dark Thoughts. And set me to the task of leveling it for him. I was more than happy to since I got to play a DK. No drama happened in the Death Knight except the day where I managed to get my Troll Hunter to 55. When my dad heard I could make my own DK on my own account, he told me I was not allowed to play his account anymore.
Boom.
I was emotionally decimated. I had spent so much effort on that character, getting it to level 70, and forgot that he had told me I had to level his DK for him. I thought I had been bamboozled, but I was still rational enough to accept that I probably just forgot that part of the agreement, that he would take it back. I kept asking him if he was leveling Dark Thoughts at all. Well, I wasn't allowed to play him anymore because I cared so much about Dark Thoughts. No, he told me. I don't really like DKs. That's cold as fuck.
That's quality.
He would always say whenever I'd ask. Each time I did, my heart broke a little bit. But at least now I could make my own to fill the void.
When you call him in, to look at him straight in the face when all you had to do was hit delete to get rid of it?
No. I don't think he hates his kid.
I fucking would.
He's 10.
No, the kid's like, no, here's the thing. All right, 10-year-old. At 10-year-old, when your dad's said all this to you, we're playing the story like it's happening. Now, the dad said to him, right, you got your own character now to level 55. You make your own DK, and the kid's like kicking off. Kid's going to kick off at 10. And he's from Kentucky. He's going to kick off.
Kid's got a temper.
So
Can't read.
you
He's 10.
don't. That's what I mean. He can't fucking read.
He's 10. He
He
can't
didn't even know
fucking
which
read.
one the Death Knight was out of the
My
list.
4-year-old can read.
So,
what
like,
the fuck?
you let him have your tantrum and you say cold-blooded. And so you give it like 3 minutes. Call him in. TJ!
Bring forth the child.
Let's just... Ah! TJ! He comes in just as your finger's hovering over the enter button. What are you doing? Give it long enough for him to realise what's going on and then just go. Gone.
I love this.
Powering up, mate.
Uldir was about to release, and I was logging on to finally cap my Troll Hunter. The day the patch dropped, I was only a couple of quests away from 80, and I was hyped. I couldn't wait to start raiding and doing Wintergrass right away. Oh, fucking Wintergrass, son. Ooh, shit. You know what I'm saying.
I didn't go to Wintergrass when I was leveling in vanilla. Wintergrass is snow one, right?
It's the PvP in Wrath.
What am
I thought you were trying to
skip
skip
Winter Spring, I'm thinking.
Winter Spring was really nice.
Never went there.
Yeti caves, potions of a giant growth.
Completely.
Well good.
Don't need to do it.
Did you never have to farm the Eye of Shadow?
No. What's the Eye of Shadow? For
To get benediction, mate.
No, because I don't have a priest.
You need an Eye of Shadow and a leaf.
Even back when I was a teenager, I still had a big dick and didn't fucking play a woman's class.
I played a paladin.
Fuck yeah, I played a paladin.
Winter Spring was the best, man.
I'm sure you had a lovely staff.
I did.
I had a fucking huge hammer. Still got it.
I had no idea how to start raiding, so I decided to grind away on random battlegrounds until I could get a cooler mount than the Orange Raptor. I eventually grinded out all the honor needed for the Black War Kodo and got it, thinking my Troll Hunter needed a sturdier looking beast to ride if he wanted to charge into PvE.
Nice.
It should be on all application forms. What mount are you riding, though? Then something completely unexpected happens. While trolling about Orgrimmar on my newly acquired Kodo, I looked at my chat box to find Yuvum has come online. Before I could even react, he'd already whispered me from his level 35 Troll Hunter. I was baffled. I nearly forgot he existed, but yet here he was. Yuvum, in the purple wart-covered flesh. We continued to catch up. He talked about how amazed he was that I had capped. To me, he had started to sound like a hype man, making me feel like a god amongst men for achieving max level. However, it was really just to butter me up, since not but a second after praising me for reaching cap, he said, because I'm so good at leveling, would I level his Troll Hunter for him? And in the same whisper, he just whispered me his account info. Since I was still innocent and had not yet learned how to ghost people, I decided... I didn't know how to ghost people. I didn't think to take him up on the offer and then take everything on his account. So in my innocence, I refused his offer and didn't even write down his account info. Aw, since I'd been in such a situation before, never again would I have a character I invest so much effort in get taken away from me, like Dark Thoughts. F for Dark Thoughts. Yuvum begged and pleaded for me to level his character for him, but I would not budge. He then logged out again. One day my dad and I are having a conversation about how far our characters have progressed. I tell him I'm capped and my hunter, and he gives the standard grats. Response, and he tells me he and the rest of my extended family and friends, a group of about 10 or 20 people, had made a guild called the Poggers and planned on raiding together. I thought that was pretty cool back then, because if I raided with my family, they'd probably be a lot easier on me. My dad offered to pay for me to move my hunter, the server they all played on, and to change my hunter from a troll to any race of my choosing, so that I could be a hunter as long as it was the Alliance. I agreed, wanting some of that well-good raid gear, and off I went, betraying the handful of friends I had on my realm, to join my family guild. A Night Elf Hunter. This was a name my dad also gave me to use for my character. Ed.
That's a fucking name-generated name.
That's like Googling it. All right, do that one. It was the name of one of his own... No. It was the name of one of his own Dungeons and Dragons characters. Dickhead. Yeah? Dad's a fucking nerd. In a vest. With greasy chicken fingers.
Chugging beers.
Chugging Bud.
Chugging
Over a game of D&D.
Bud Light.
Like a fucking man. I had not yet got into RP at this time, so I'd yet to learn how to properly craft a good RP name. I had a serviceable set of gear when I transferred for the time, good enough for my family raiding guild to let me raid Trial of the Crusader with them at least. So far, my experience with raiding was pretty good. I had gotten to a new Barak before we reached breaking point in my one raid. Whoa, first boss. My first raid ever, and I was even given loot.
Anubarak was the last boss.
No, Anubarak's the first boss in Nax.
You're talking about TOC on Nax now.
This is his only raid he ever went was a Nax pug.
What was the boss called, the last boss in TOC? Anubarak.
Anubarak.
Oh, okay.
Who was... Trivia! Who was brought back as a boss because he was poorly represented in Ajol Narub. And people of the law variety were pissed. Because apparently, somewhere, Anubarak is a big deal. Oh wait, I'm wrong. Anubarak is TOC. Fun fact, Anubarak. Trivia for you. Anubarak is re-brought back in TOC because he was badly... Let me minimise the chat a second. Anubarak... Minimise the other chat window.
Fuck off.
Anubarak was brought back. I know how to tank it.
I want you to tell me that I was right and you was wrong. Slowly.
What is this?
Just
look at that crazy look in your eyes.
Slowly.
You look like you're sniffing your own dick.
Kind of am.
It's like you're high on some sort of crazy drug.
Do it.
Do it. Tell me I'm the best. Make me feel it. Make me feel it inside.
Kneel.
I actually feel that someone in your guild would do it. You're the best ghost.
Do you mean someone in your guild? Are you fucking kidding me? Have we met?
Tell me I was right.
Shit.
With the eyes. I'm not a law guy. He's a bug guy. Nax bug guy. Anyway, we reached a new Barak. So he did do TOV. What a guy. And he got given loot as well, a crossbow that would help me get myself into groups for all kinds of other raids as a pug with the other gear I collected from PvP. He's an item level whore. After that raid, I kind of stopped raiding with my family for a while. I wanted to level a paladin, so I stopped. He did one raid and then he stopped raiding with them because he gave him loot. What a cunt. Fucking 10-year-olds, man. Fuck that, dude. Fuck that. He did one raid, he got loot, and then he fucked off to level something else. What a guy. I wanted a paladin, so I started leveling one, but during the time when I was leveling him, non-stop, the guild fell apart due to family squabbles.
Jesus.
And now, Sausage House was around, my dad's bank guild. Feeling that itch to raid again after I had left my family's guild for a dramaless raiding guild, I eventually found myself in a guild, we'll call it this one, by the name of Sausage House, who planned to raid ICC and recruited me as ranged. I would only raid with these people once. The first time I raided ICC with them, I was verbally eviscerated for being a huntard that only knew how to do volley and spam arcane shot, serpent sting, and chimera shot with no tact or anything similar to a rotation. It made me cry from the cyberbullying I was suffering. See, you're an elitist. This is the real. I was 11 or 12 at the time. Of course they didn't know because I never spoke on a mic during raids, but even still, their words hurt me greatly. I cried so hard, my dad came up to me and asked what was the matter. When I told him, he simply told me, I need you.
That's a fucking legendary comment, that.
His dad responded to the cyberbullying.
Shit, TJ, suck it up. It's just random people on the internet.
That's the internet, buddy.
That's the comment, though. Suck it up. It's random fucking idiots on the internet.
Stop crying, you little bitch.
Yeah.
Slap the
Are those
KFC out of his
actual
mouth.
tears?
He made it seem so simple, but I can't just disregard what they were saying. The internet was practically my entire social life. I had so little IRL friends that I could count them on one hand and still have enough fingers uncounted to do things with that hands without using those fingers. What? Hold on. I had so little IRL friends that I could count them on one hand and still have enough fingers uncounted to do things with that hand without using those fingers.
Yeah, so without using those fingers that were counted.
So he's got one friend. He uses them.
No, it can't be the thumb, mate, because, that separates the man from the fucking beast.
He's
it's
a
going to be a
beast.
little finger. It's got to be a little finger, right?
I can't. There's so much I can't do without my
You're
little
like
finger.
the Yakuza, paying tribute. You don't need the pinky. As long as as long as you got your thumb for grips and your trigger finger,
Popping caps.
pop, pop. Guys
good to go.
Guys from Kentucky, yeah? Motherfucker's got a broom-handled Mauser and a shotgun. At least.
I like the idea of which finger would you sacrifice. I'm going straight with thumb
I'm
because
going
it'll
little
freak
finger.
people out.
Yeah, but alright, and try and have a fucking kind of monster with that. That's not a kind of monster for a start. That's a bottle of water, but still doesn't count. Look at you. You're like a chimp. And even chimps have thumbs. You're lower than a chimp. You know what you are? Semen. Dried. Like cottage cheese.
This is ridiculously hard, by the way.
You made this choice. Hang about. Let me do it my way.
I felt like
I'll
it
tell
would
you
be
what.
easy.
Without my pinky, let me just do that for you. Up, up.
I felt like that would be way easier than what it actually was. That was so hard.
Now,
to
what I
do.
want you to do. Take your time. Shh, let me get ASMR about it. Just take your time.
How happy you are.
Breathe deeply and say, I was wrong.
There's something so disgusting about you being happy. It's actually like it gives off an aura of uncomfortability. It's like being in toxic sludge.
It's like fuel to me. I like the tribute.
I feel like there's tar pouring out of your feet.
This is-
spreading across the floor.
This is like tribute. You fuel the darkness.
Tell me. I feel like you're sucking the energy out of me like the thing. Okay.
Like a blowjob?
Sure.
Because I'm not doing that
It melts your dick.
in this heat.
It's really
No,
hot.
sir.
It's hot.
And those shorts really seal in the freshness.
They do. That was when I decided raiding wasn't for me. I play games to make friends and have fun. Oh my god, it's an MMO champ thread. That is when I decided raiding wasn't for me. I play games to make friends and have fun, not get yelled at for doing things not up to people's expectations. It all makes so much weird sense now. Like, I feel like I've read that comment 1 billion times.
We've got proof.
Where's the ERP? Cataclysm had just been...
Where is the fucking
I was
ERP?
promised boobs, man. There better be boobs coming up. Anyway, Cataclysm had just been released and I was done with raiding almost entirely. The Sausage House had become somewhere I'd become somewhere I tried my best to socialise with people, but since it was a raiding guild, not many people wanted to be my friend.
I read that line as a gay bar. And I was trying to socialise at the Sausage Club.
Anybody want to do a random heroic? No. No, we don't. I mostly lurked in their chat and only piped up when something piqued my interest. Like one conversation between two guildies about a mythical place called Moonguard. Here we go. We're on our way, boys. I watched as they spoke about its Goldshire. They said it was practically a whorehouse for ERP. Having just discovered porn not long before this event. 12? Dude.
You kidding me?
Well behind the times.
Right.
What's going on in Kentucky, sexually frustrated beans?
Kentucky.
You must have balls like fucking basketballs or some
Nah,
shit.
they got farm animals. Chickens. What? Can I just point out that happens that often? There's a word for it. All right? Let it sink in.
Good recall, though. I was watching missionary porn.
Oh, shit. That's where I remembered it from. We spoke about it the other day.
I was intrigued with this development. I almost forgot raids existed during Kata.
Sorry. Not animal fucking. We weren't talking about that the other day. Sorry. Carry on. You know I needed to prefix that before the fucking chat
I
fills
never
up.
even assumed that the chat would assume that we were having some in-depth conversation about
About bestiality.
Fuck yeah, we know the word.
Yeah.
I had been focused on random BGs and leveling alts on Moonguard for Transmog and to make Moonguard my main realm so I could get my character's pixelated dick wet. That playstyle carried me all the way through MOP. Best expansion, by the way. Pandas are adorable, and if you disagree, you are entitled.
What a lovely guy.
I think so.
Look, if you don't agree with what I'm saying, it's your opinion. What a guy! Why can't everyone in the world be like that?
Well, there you go.
Oh, God.
To be fair, he gave up on raiding because people told him he was bad. After, I'm not going to get better, by the way. Just giving up.
Fuck it.
And into shitlords of Gaynor, where Moonguard had become my main realm with the majority of my capped characters residing there. All of them Alliance, of course. I was looking for an ERP guild to hopefully get my character's feet wet, and rather quickly I found myself invited by a guild led by a female human. Fat kid.
Read it in the brackets after it, genius.
Saudi Arabian guy IRL, though. Who had a thing for cute, super feminine males. Luckily for me, that happened to be the only thing I roleplayed as.
What?
Okay, so we need some clarification here.
Let's dissect this.
Your background for your character that you chose was a super feminine male.
Hi!
And yet you were surprised
That was a really good Alex impression.
when a guy approached you interested in this backstory. Okay. Sure.
I'd probably read a couple of lines ahead before you read it out loud.
So far, he hasn't revealed age.
Okay.
And he seems willing.
Yeah, but those two are not separable. You have to take into account the age.
Let's just
regardless
see
of
where
the
we go.
willing.
Let's see where we go.
I'm prepping.
Okay. All of my characters were female in character model, but only because none of the males of any race, not even Pandera males, are cute enough for me to tolerate playing them.
What'd I miss? What'd he do?
There are no cute enough male alliance characters.
You fucking kidding me? I suppose at the time, though, you're talking Blood Elves, aren't you? Blood Elves reign supreme.
Part of the guild was that Fat Kid would often sexually harass their guild members if he thought they were cute in any way. You actively sought out an ERP guild? I had drawn the eye of other members. However, they both didn't like how creeped out Fat Kid made them feel. So we decided to make our own guild without Fat Kid. We're safe. We're safe.
Okay.
We are safe, boys. Let's wipe the sweat. We're all right. We're all right. So we decided to make our own guild without Fat Kid. We're good. We're good. We're all right. We're in the clear, boys. We're in the clear. Fat Kid didn't like this and began messaging me with more comments like, you're being brainwashed by your two little lovers. Can't read that, Andy.
Where?
I can't read that.
But the line itself poses several questions to me. Does it not you?
I don't know where we are.
Right,
now.
can we read the line?
He's a 12-year-old, man. What are
He's
we
a
supposed
12-year-old.
But I don't think Fat Kid knows that. And he actively sought this out. I mean, I don't know where we are. We've gone down a bad road here.
Well, hey, I'm going to say it this way. We're going to get to the end of it quicker than if we turn back and head back that way.
I miss...
Hit it. You got this.
Okay. Okay, I miss having you...
Yo.
I can't read the full thing.
Do you want me to do it?
Yeah.
Okay, I miss having your bubbly ass in my lap after that one time.
Now, we need to be clear here.
He doesn't mean
He doesn't know
bubbly
the
ass.
age.
Yeah, he
it's
does.
a character in an RP story, and the guy actively saw ERP.
And bubbly I think it just means, like he's saying, he's got a nice ass. It doesn't mean A, diarrhea, B, fat ass. Because that's what everyone worldwide associates.
There's no
probably with.
paedophilia going on here. We want to be clear. There's none.
That's going to be clipped on its own.
Okay.
You idiots.
Come back to my guild and I'll make you my favourite with your own guild rank and special privileges.
Bottom bitch.
This made me my skin crawl unlike anything I've ever experienced. I know right the fuck out of there so hard I uninstalled Skype and converted to the Discord master race that night after ignoring and removing Fat Kid from the battle swag. After we left to make our own guild, the ERP guild led by creepy Fat Kid quickly hemorrhaged members until Fat Kid was all that was left. They then tried to rebuild it on their own, and it worked for a time. The guild became an even trashier slag den than it had before. That's the point of the guild, right? It's an ERP guild. I feel like you joined an ERP guild, and maybe you were just a dumb fuck kid. Possible. Oh, wait. He's not 12. This was WOD, right? We are years later. We're safe.
Are we 4 years plus safe?
Yes.
Because he got his own account when it was a DK, right?
He got his own account when he was...
And that's Wrath.
He was 12 in Wrath. So how old will he be by WOD?
I go back. That's fine then, because you got
Yeah, we're
Wrath,
good.
Cataclysm, Mop, WOD.
We're good.
We're good. We're fine.
We're fucking
We're
good,
safe.
boys.
We're safe.
We're top shelf me. Right there. We're in, boys. All right, we're fucking solid. He's probably still a minor, not in the UK.
Fuck you, America.
Take that.
He probably did. What? If you're gonna throw a low, mate, if you're throwing low balls, I'm gonna knock that
Fuck
shit.
off. Don't tell me in America a 16-year-old searching out ERP is fucking the
Unheard of.
same as some sort of paedophile creeper. It is not.
You've been maffed.
All of the members were guys IRL, not even trying to RP as something different, and just wanted to jerk off with each other to each other's character models. Instead of actually putting in effort.
Don't you remember that thing? When I was doing that thing on Argent Dawn, and when we had I sent a load of fucking female table dancers in, and a guy whispered saying, "Sorry to bother you, do you mind if I fap to this?" And that was one of, I want to say, 3 that night.
I don't understand.
People do it, man.
No, but his problem isn't even that.
What?
They're not putting enough effort into the RP, and he finds it lazy.
Oh, he finds it lazy.
That's his issue in it. Not that all these guys are jerking it to WoW character models, which is fucking insane. It's the fact that there's no substance.
I'm sure that
You're not getting
mate, I can
into the
guarantee.
immersion.
I can guarantee there'll be substance.
It's his problem. Listen. All of the members were guys IRL, not even trying to RP as something different, and just wanted to jerk off with each other to each other's character models instead of actually putting forth effort into writing smut to read.
That's the guy who wants a fucking storyline to his porno.
He's flicking through the magazine.
That's it.
He's like, well, what are her likes and interests? I mean,
he reads the
this
articles.
is ridiculous. How did the plumber get here? He's clicked on that porn clip and they're already banging. He's like, what's the setup
Right,
here?
is he Corgi qualified? I've seen no credentials. He's not got
Nothing.
a name tag on.
What was the issue he was fixing under the sink?
Right, I don't
Is
see
the
a hazard
pipe blocked?
vest. I mean, that jockstrap's stopping no electricity.
Outrageous.
Is he earthed? Is he wearing wellies?
It's absolutely this is just ruining the whole experience. It's like South Park when there's no internet and Randy's trying to jerk off
Yeah.
and he keeps changing it.
He sat there at home just like with like some KFC or something. And he goes, "Well, that's the wrong spanner for a start."
Exactly. Took me right out of it. He's just using 8 3/4 piping. It's clearly a 3 2/8 piping that he's connecting it to.
I mean-
he's got no valve.
You're not sanding that down with a bastard file.
Where's his ball cock?
Where's his ball cock? Does this man have any remedial skill in home plumbing? Because I don't think he does.
Oh my god. I'm just going to watch Fake Taxi. At least I can get on board with someone getting in a taxi. I can get on board with that. That's easy enough. It's nice and
I don't know
simple.
though, because they don't have a taxi license on the back of it, you know, on the intro
What's your
cutscene.
taxi number?
Yeah, what's your number?
What's your taxi number?
fucking
What's
reporting
your
you.
route? Now that guild seems to be inactive or disbanded, and Fat Kid disappeared. No more Fat Kid. These days, I mostly just transmog hunt an ERP. Where's the rest of the ERP? You just wrote us a pedo story. What the fuck?
What's this fake taxi thing, by the way, that you seem to know all about?
It's about a taxi driver.
Man or woman?
Both. Who picks up people for taxi fares and fucks.
What's the premise, though?
They get in the taxi. And
No, why do they get to the fucking?
I've got to be honest with you, I haven't seen it, but I would imagine.
You are such a liar.
I haven't seen it. But
Right, let me stop you there.
it's
then.
got to be can't afford the taxi, right?
Let me stop you there. Someone who has seen it,
Jesus Christ, no.
all of them. It's several things. It's blackmail. It's they can't afford the fare. It's I know a quicker route.
That's,
We can still fuck on the
I
way.
can assume it's still can't pay. And that's what I would have guessed. They can't pay. I haven't sought out it, but I know of its existence. But it must be.
It was a bamboozle
It's
the
gotta
whole
be-
time.
it's gotta
I've
be
got
the same
average
story.
knowledge of it.
Yeah.
Worldwide, because it's not just a man and a woman. It's a man and a woman in different countries.
I'm going to be honest with you. I know about more varieties of porn in the last couple of. How long have I been in the new guild? Like a month. I know. I've seen some things. I've seen some things in the last month that I hadn't seen in my entire history of guilds since probably Mr. Pandaria. In the 1 month alone of being my new guild, I know members of my guild have e-fucked t-shirts.
That website is gold. Gold,
There you go.
I tell you.
There you go. It's like, how dark can we go? Let's go down the road. Yeah, you got to be careful. New guild is a new world. Yeah, very much. Very much. Very much. You can learn some new things. Not safe for work guild channels. No.
I've got one of those on my Discord.
And I'm pretty sure every channel in our guild is considered not safe for work. I don't think there's a safe place amongst it. I don't think there is. I'm right. I refuse to do any raiding outside of LFR in favor of having well-written smut. Takes pride in his work with people in Goldshire.
It's a good lad, that.
And I am waiting for more content to be easily solvable for me to get more transmog.
In fairness, it was advertised as ERP. The lad wants ERP. He's done nothing wrong.
I would like to have known more. I want to see.
How did it end? I didn't even realise how it ended.
The guild died. But can I suggest, sir, can you write us some of your well-written smut? Ideally, confirming that you are above the age of consent. Because we believe you are at this point, because we are past Wolves Draenor now, so that should be 100% safe. Unless you're in some state where the age... What's the oldest age you need to be in the US?
What, for fucking?
Yeah, 'cause it's different
18.
state. It's different state by state, right?
It's just 18, right?
There's no state that's like 21 or something.
21? I think that's just for booze, isn't it?
We never even got Bodie in. We'll get him in.
Who's Bodie?
Bodie was the name we got, but it wasn't the name.
Bodie player.
19?
18.
18,
Told ya.
18 federally, 17 somewhere, 16 for Kentucky.
How can you say 16 with consent in some? Does that mean when you turn 17?
37. I'm glad that we have a one-stop shop policy.
What do you mean?
16. That's
16,
it. That's the
boom.
answer. 16.
Show
is
me
the
some
answer.
ID.
Yeah.
Take your pants off. What are you doing?
Just writing in that in there.
Definitely not creepy Pete.
That's us. We've got it written in. If we put it in writing,
Says it there.
it's sensible.
I'm not a creepy peep. You're a
Exactly.
creepy peep.
Because we're sensible. Look, I've put it in there. Sensible Mike and Andy. That's us. That's us there. 15 in Sweden. Popping. 10 in Westeros. You guys are fucking ridiculous, man. I am not a creep. I am not a creep.
You spelled definitely wrong.
Sure. There you go. I'm not typing that out again. There's no way.
Just,
We'll just
correct it.
Not creepy peeps.
But the end's not capitalised now.
That's all right. Nobody will
So
care.
you're gonna have to get rid of not so that it just says creepy peeps. It's gone full circle. The ruse has
I
fallen
moved
away.
the keyboard, man. There you go. Creepy peeps. There you go. All sorted. I was expecting a little bit more from our ERP tale.
I
there.
thought it was going
Yeah,
somewhere.
you can't say that you're going to give us that fucking love, man. And not give it to us. You're not going to give it to us. I'm waiting for someone to put grass on the pitch as a law.
No, though, because no.
Because Sinan was born with a beard.
Sinan,
So he's good to
yeah.
go as a baby.
But
He's
like
good to go.
when you're older, less is more.
True words
feel
have
me?
never been spoken by
Right?
a man in my life, man.
It's true.
True words have never been spoken at all. We did look forward to it. It was unfortunate, but that was pretty good. Before we finish up, though, we had an awesome week. We fully recommend you do Subnautica,
dude.
which
put
I
that
know
sweet
most of
pitch.
you have played.
Before you put this picture up, but let me tell you, when I streamed it for those 2 days, I had an amazing time. I watched people play it, and I thought it's okay, I like it, and then I started to watch a little bit more, and I thought I need to get into like jumpy games. And I know that it's not based on jumpy games, like a jumpy game, but it has jumps in it, and I'm a shitbag when it comes to it. So I played it, and fuck me. The second I go home and I don't have the kids, I get on it now. And now that's the picture from after the stream. I restarted my game, taking what I learned, rebuilt my base, and finally, literally an hour before I set off here, I built my submarine, changed it to Deathstroke colours, and called it the SS Big Dick. That thing blew me away with how good it is and how it operates in the game. It's got collision sensors all around it. It's got cameras all around it for angles that you can't see. You can put it on silent running. You can move up and down the ship. It's a mobile base. It's amazing. And now
Is that your base there?
that's my base that's underneath my submarine. Yeah, it's amazing. There's volcanoes under my base, mate. Thermal power. Right?
Not bad at
That
all.
SS Big Dick carries my prawn armor, which is just called the Ghost, so that I can do some proper deep mining excavation.
You're an excavator.
It's so good.
This is a game that you... hold on.
What did I do?
Nothing. You
Are
did
you
it.
grassing on me now? You
No,
fucking
I'm not
snitch.
pressing on you. Not at all. Teachers.
What do you want me to... Like what? What do you mean? What do you mean?
I can put it on for us. Because this was the sleeper hit. I know many of people have actually played it, but for those of you in the Legion sort of dry spot...
Worth it. This game
This
you
is
can
the game.
finish, yeah. This game you can finish in about 20 hours. Okay?
It's not the point, though, right? The
But
point's
that's what
not
I'm
to finish
saying.
it.
But here's the thing is, like, we streamed this for 2 solid days. Like, that's like 16 hours streaming. We scratched the surface because of how good the optional content is.
So it's a survival game.
It's a survival game with a story. Like, this is what No Man's Sky should have been. There is a clear story that will always point you in the direction of where you should be going. There's a narrative, there's a story, there's things that you can do and things that it will tell you to do. There is an ending to the game as well. It's worth it. It's actually worth it. And the amount of people from like my guild who've bought it and played it non-stop and said, dude, I can't believe I didn't try this, is phenomenal. Because this is, I don't want to do this because I've not seen all the Leviathans yet, but I'm so gripped to it.
Look at this. If you are into your transmog and stuff, I just want to...
Oh, this is my old base.
This
though.
is his old base. Look how labelled and neat everything is. This is like, if you are into customizing your stuff, because you built all this, right? You designed the
I
base.
did.
Yeah, you designed the base. You settle it out yourself. Yeah, 20 quid. Fully
Worth
recommended.
every fucking penny.
Oh, this
Every
is what
penny.
this is one of the boats you built.
This is the Seamoth. This is the first vehicle that you get. It's so good.
Yeah, it looks pretty fantastic.
It's amazing.
I'll see if I can find a bit of your base. Maybe if I just go to here.
Oh, that's the shitty base, so I feel dirty looking at it now.
I was just trying to show, like, you can label everything. Like, this is for the kind of guys.
Keep calm.
You put a poster up.
I put all the toys up, all the posters, everything.
Well, for anybody who used to play Command and Conquer and literally spend their lives
building
bases.
We did that
You
weekend
and Rob
after
did that.
weekend.
So it's never
yeah.
appealed to me that way. That's like the transmog stuff. It doesn't grab me like that to spend hours, designing and building this thing. But you've done that forever, and that was that's what I thought about when you were playing it, is those times when you were just building a base.
Yeah.
In Command and Conquer forever, just building these giant bases, just for the sake of just having them.
Yeah.
And just making them look cool and make roads and doors and all that
It
kind of
was
stuff.
cool. Fika, you don't need a top-end PC to run it. The game, I think, was it Ryo's on? Ryo, did you say the download was 5 gig? It's beautiful, but it will run on anything because of how customizable the settings are for literally everything in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So worth it, man. Worth it.
Absolutely worth. So we fully recommend that as something to fill your time if you
Absolutely.
are looking at that. We finished the Silent Hill franchise, which was really interesting. We had a little spate of playing games that I wanted to play when I was younger. Never had a PlayStation. Couldn't do it. Couldn't get involved. Couldn't, just couldn't get there. And so now we've got the opportunity to go back with it. It's rough because Silent Hill 1, we played the original PS1 version.
Yeah.
That's a rough get through on those graphics.
Oh.
That is a rough
But you
get
did it
through.
with Metal Gear as well.
We did do it with Metal Gear. This looks worse than Metal Gear by a long way, though. It looks worse than Metal Gear. Had fun with it. We're not going to play any more of it. I'm going to call it there. We did 1, 2, and 3. 2 was the best. 3 was very weird, but we had a lot of crashes and bugs, which is a bit of a bummer to play out with it. We might look at... You wanted us to do Resident Evil.
I do want us to do Resident Evil. I think you should do Resident Evil, and we should do 6 together.
But it will be in late summer. And the only reason I bring this up is we had one of our... the most successful month ever on Twitch last month, and we played 4 days of WoW. That's a big deal.
That's really big deal.
That's a big deal. That's a really big deal. We only played WoW for 4 days, and that was Battle for Azeroth stuff and a couple of Mythic Plus runs, so things like that. 2 of them days were doing Druid and stuff, and we did better than ever on Twitch. So I just want to thank you all for that, because that is a big deal. That is a big deal for us, is to be able to do that. So that's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. So, as you know, next week, we've got Yakuza 6, which looks like it's going to be a blast. And, of course... God of War, which looks to be the game of the generation. That's what people are saying. This is the next level. And of course, everyone's seen the snow, I assume. The guy, him walking through the snow and it leaving.
Oh, yeah.
It's got realistic snow.
That's from. Did you see the snow in the expansion for what the hell is it called with Aloy?
Event Horizon.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
I did.
The DLC was the snow in that was crispy because the grass animation was still underneath the snow, but it only revealed when you'd like stamped on it and stuff.
I'm excited because we've seen the review numbers and they're all 99, 98s. Everybody, they're all top tier, so it should be fantastic. I'm also if you only ever watch us for WoW, we totally get that. But I would check out some of our other streams. We feel we've improved massively with it. We did co-op streams with Far Cry 5 and A Way Out. I'd check them out if you're looking for just a good time. I would check them out. They're all in the collections on Twitch. I would really recommend you check those out. Just to get an idea of what's out there. Because we're in the dry spell of WoW right now. We've got 4 months of chill time. It's time to look at some other games and don't miss out on them. Because I only ever want to say this. Look, I spent 10 years playing WoW without playing a single other game pretty much. And I regret it massively. I regret it because I missed out on... I'm a fan of video games. I love WoW, but I'm a fan of video games, as I always was as a kid. I wasn't a WoW fan. I was a video games fan. And still am. And missed out on a lot of stuff. So if you're looking for some stuff to check out, Subnautica is the one we currently recommend. If you're into that kind of stuff, which I know many of you are. And have fun with that. We're going to leave you there and disappear because I'm pretty happy with everything. I'm pretty good. And also, we're at the midnight release of Infinity War. Is it next week?
Oh, is it next week?
Is it next week?
Oh, it's the 26th.
No, 2 weeks.
You fuckhole.
Yeah. It
ruins my evening.
Sorry, it's a week on Thursday. So it will be before the next web show. We will be at the midnight release of Infinity War. We'll have something on Patreon probably the next day. If we muster up, we'll get something out on there. We will point out, though, it's coming out in the UK before the US. Sorry. So I'd be very wary, Patreons, if that goes out and you're looking forward to seeing it. Because our stuff on Patreon for movies is full of spoilers.
Oh, sorry, it's the 25th. 25th. It is the 25th.
All right, so it's even earlier then.
America
is it
gets out
midnight
the
of the 25th or is it midnight of the 24th?
I'll double check after. In fact, I've got it in my wallet, mate.
Very good. It's not anymore. Have they changed it? Oh. We are going to be doing something on YouTube with other games coming up, but at the moment we're working. Our schedule is basically trying to get us grounded making a big video. So that's why Andy did Subnautica, so I could do the script for the next big video. Once we're comfortable with that, then we can look at adding more stuff. At the moment, we need to... In fact, the top tier Patreons, if you check the Discord... There's questions there that I put forward to you guys to get your opinions on. Check those out. Let's just shout. So many subs. Thank you very much, guys. Phosphor donated 200 quid.
Don't read it. You see now why? Right? You see now, right? Bad form, Phosphor. Bad form. Centralize.
This is why we don't have text-to-speech or the donation messages on the screen. No. Herpa Derpa with the bits and every sub who joined us. Thank you very, very much. we'll see you next week for a shitload of fun. We look like we've got a really ridiculously fun week, so we hope you join us there for that.
Oh, show us your dick.
On YouTube, we'll have all the different classes are going to start to appear on YouTube now. We can't wait anymore. But we'll be looking at WoW, because obviously we're not giving up on WoW in any way. I'm not anyway. I'm all right with it. And it's time to start looking at the classes. I've waited long enough. The Azerite armor is going to constantly be different. There's nothing we can do about it. We're going to take a good look. So I'm going to nerd out next week on WoW. I'm going to be nerding out. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.